Hello, everybody. How are you? Give me a two in the comments if you can hear me before we move along. Today, I want our conversation to be really like detailed, really real, really like interactive. And today almost didn't happen because we have been house shopping and we had to go out at the very last minute and I almost was not able to come on here today, but because I love you so much, I knew that no matter what, this had to get done. So of course, like I said, give me a two in the comments if you can't hear me. And excuse this weird awkward reach I'm doing. Good, two in the comments, you guys can hear me. Okay, perfect. So give me, or you don't have to give me a certain number. Let me know if you have any type of scalp issues, right? Any type of scalp issues whatsoever, burning, itching, thinning, anything like that. And let me know what they are in the comments, because by the end of this live, regardless of how long we here, by the end of this live, you will know how to prevent those problems. You'll know why you're having it if you are real enough to accept it, because I'm coming from love, right? But the more I talk, the more passionate I'm going to get, right? Like right now, I have super professional Cyn on to talk to everybody, but the more I talk, the deeper I'm going to get into the information, and the more passionate I'm going to get, right? So give me a five if it's cool and you are right with me being myself today. All right, have a different kind of setup, just a little bit, just a little bit. All right, just a different type of setup. And today, what we are going to do, sorry guys, today what we're going to do is go over a couple of different things. And not only, I'm not just going to be talking to you guys, right? I'm going to give you all the different angles. So I'm going to give you somebody who had been doing the thing that I've been telling you guys not to do. This is somebody who said, you know what, I'm just going to go ahead and try it. What's the worst that can happen? Because nothing that I'm doing is working. So again, this is a judgment-free zone. If you are a person who greases the scalp, or if you are a person who believes that the scalp needs to be greased, let me know. Because today we are going to talk about how the way that you style your hair, the different hairstyles that you do, are directly connected to different balding, different forms of alopecia, different follicle and scalp disorders. The way that we treat our hair is directly connected to the way that things are able to flow. All right. And today I'm going to do a live demonstration. So I am going to make a little bit of a mess, but I need you to visually see this representation. So before I move along, all right, let's look at this comment right here, because I want you guys to know that you are not by yourself, right? For every woman that is going through something like this, you are not by yourself. There are multiple people dealing with the same exact issue that you are dealing with, right? So I'm putting this up on the screen. I want you to be able to read this along with me as I'm pulling it up on my phone. Listen, this is live, and this is what happens when stuff is live. If this wasn't live, I would have just cut this part out where I wasn't prepared. Okay. So she says, Cyn, I love you as a person and I love your spirit. I have been greasing my scalp for over 20 years, and the flakes and itchy scalp was no joke. I tried almost everything and nothing worked. I washed my hair last week after watching several of your videos and didn't use any grease or oil, and I feel like I have a brand new scalp. I haven't scratched my scalp not one time. I just want to say thank you for everything that you do. You are appreciated. So, the reason that I'm reading that to you guys is because whenever we talk about greasing the scalp and different things of that nature, it's very, 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 very triggering. It's very triggering. I don't even have my prop to show you guys, but I'm about to get the prop. Hold on, y'all. So I want you guys to know, and I'm going to give you a visual representation, because I know a lot of times when you just do something, you're like, oh, that's not a big deal. You're making a big deal out of it. But if you can visually see what you're actually doing to your scalp, it'll give you a better visual representation. It'll help you process what I'm saying, being able to visualize it first, right? Because one thing that I've been able to notice year after year after year, the clients that I have, the majority of the clients that I have are women in their late 40s uh, or early 50s who've been greasing their scalps their entire adult life, right? And the older they get, the more the forms of alopecia increase. And something as simple as not greasing the scalp can reverse every issue that you have, right? But why is that? If you're with me so far, and if you understand where I'm going, if you've heard any of this before, give me a 2. Ooh, hey Cyn, I received my order for the blue PT today, and I started today, and I like the taste. Oh, I'm so excited to hear that. And make sure you keep me updated. And that's nice that you wrote this on here. But if you could go over to my website and like click a little over there, like write your review over there. Oh my God, the testimonial, it'll be everything. I love y'all so much. Okay, but I really want you guys to really get into the whole idea of what it means to grease your scalp and why you're actually greasing your scalp, because greasing the scalp actually hurts 10 times more than it actually helps. And that's why it's so important to know the human body and understand why, right? The scalp is not supposed to be greased. And one of the main issues that I'll find, right? I have so many women that'll book one-on-ones with me. I don't want y'all to stop. I don't. But as much as I like green paper, I don't like getting it for no reason. So if you've already been to a dermatologist and they've told you something to do, that I want you to listen to them. And I'm going to tell you something. We're going to move on to the next one here, because I have a lot of people say this. They'll say, okay, well, I went to a dermatologist, but they're not Black, so they don't understand. They're not Black, so they don't understand, right? But in reality, what is happening, we think that to style our hair, we have to pack it full of products. So we completely pack our scalp full of oils, full of butters, and then our hair shaft is not able to breathe. Our hair follicle is not able to breathe. Okay, I'm going to read this comment, and then I'm going to do our demonstration. All right, and I'm going to read this one, and then the next one we'll talk, and then I'm going to give you guys a live demonstration so you can get a visual representation of what I'm saying. All right, so this one said, I had the same issue with my scalp and face, seborrheic dermatitis, and a dermatologist got me all together post-pandemic. People's reviews said he was rude, and because he's white and old, he didn't know what he was talking about. Laugh my ass off. He's a board certified doctor. My scalp is clean. My skin is clear now. Funny thing, he wasn't the first dermatologist. She was Indian. I had seen for my issues. She only provided band-aid solutions for 2 years before I stopped going to her pre-pandemic. Now, this comment is one of the most common comments that I get all the time. Because he's white, because he's old, he doesn't understand Black hair. So what he's saying doesn't matter. And this is because Black women have been brainwashed into believing that the only way that they can retain moisture is from oiling their scalp. That is what Black women believe. They believe that oil is not produced within the follicle of a Black woman. So the only way that you can have oil production and healthy sebum production is if you block the follicle with oil. But what if I told you that was one of the easiest ways to get damage? What if I told you that greasing your scalp was one of the easiest ways to seborrheic dermatitis? What if I told you that? Most people probably wouldn't even believe me. All right. Blocked hair follicles can disrupt the hair growth cycle by prolonging the resting phase, the telogen phase, or shortening the growth phase, which is the anagen phase. The hair growth cycle consists of 3 phases: anagen, which is the hair growth phase; canogen, which is a transitional phase; and telogen, which is the resting phase. Now, we've talked about this before multiple times on my channel, but to hear information isn't really enough if you don't apply it to your life. So before I move along, I need to go get my prop. I don't know why I don't have it up here with me. It'll take 2 seconds. But if y'all don't want to see the prop, then I won't get it. So if you want me to get that prop, if you could wait 2.5 seconds, give me a 5. And then I will go ahead and get it. And I know y'all what y'all gonna say. So I'ma just go ahead and get it. Give me a second. Hold on, y'all. All right, so we're just gonna use this straw, right, as a representation. I need to move some stuff out the way, and I'm breathing hard because I don't be working out like that, and I just ran up the stairs. So I want you to picture the hole on this straw. I can't breathe. I want you to picture the hole on this straw as your hair follicle. But keep in mind, your hair follicle is nowhere near this big, but I want you to imagine it, right? So I just don't want to get water on my cords. So I need you to see how easy it is for water to flow down this. Actually, I need a dropper. Yep, I need a dropper. Hold on, y'all. We'll do it like this. It's gonna be gross, but it's my floor. Okay, so pay attention how easy the water is able to flow. Once I tip it over, pay attention to how easy it is for the water to flow out the straw, right? Okay. This is unblocked. Just want to get this water off of here so I won't think my booty cheeks wet. So, right, empty, clear flow. Imagine this is a follicle, an unblocked follicle, a scalp that's not greased, nothing. Mind you, remember, this is way bigger than your actual hair follicle. Your hair follicle is microscopic, okay? But water straight down, right? But let's not even, we'll do, this will be second. I'm gonna do petroleum first. Don't get mad. I should have been prepared, but I'm not. So wait a minute. No, we'll just go ahead and use this. So before you get braids, right, especially individuals, you like to go like this. So the equivalent would be going ahead and look, I'm doing it the same way. I'm not pushing it, I'm just greasing it, and y'all be pressing it hard, right? So that's how the follicle look with all the product on it. And y'all have seen the videos. I'm not tripping. Listen, I'm not telling nobody what to do. I'm just showing you what happens when you do what you do, but you can do what you want to do. All right, so y'all saw I didn't push or nothing. I just wiped it the same way y'all do, and y'all actually wipe it harder. Okay, so water again. There's no, look, nothing is coming out. There is nothing coming out. Nothing. Let's do it again. We got a couple little drips. Let's see if we wipe that off. That was the drip falling from. So you see that? There's nothing coming out of here. I'm going to tip it over. I swallowed it the last time. But I just need you to notice that there is nothing coming out. But then once I tip it upside down, all of the water has stuck to the top of the, look, let's do it again. It's filling up and falling back out. Nothing. Like, what are we doing? You can't get any water out. It's literally accumulating here on the bottom, and it's all like coming into contact and milking its way, trying to make it its way through. You see how wet that is? Nothing can come. What are we doing? Nothing's able to come through. Look, I have to shake the water. Have you ever seen water not be able to come out the opposite side? Look, you see, it's not able to come. I have to shake the water out of the straw. Have you ever seen anything like that? Imagine what's happening on the inside of the follicle. And you see, I'm not swallowing the water. Look at that. Look. It's making a blockage in the straw just from the petroleum base. Look, how is something up here? How is something up here blocking airflow from top to bottom? Look, you can see there is water there. This is why the majority of Black women have seborrheic dermatitis and dandruff. Dandruff and seborrheic dermatitis are the same thing. Dandruff is a milder version of seborrheic dermatitis. Now look, have you ever seen anything like that before? This is causing a blockage. I bet you thought I was just going to blow it in here, put the water in here, and it was going to fall out the other side. No, that is why the majority of women who grease the scalp, who put petroleum-based products in their hair, who braid their hair like this, it'll be good at first, but after a while, it causes a vacuum. With petroleum-based products that block the follicle, it causes a vacuum. And then keep in mind, this just happens to be a side that is open. On your actual follicle, there is no opening. That's why you have seborrheic dermatitis, because you block the follicle, nothing can come up, and then you make a pressure point in the middle. That's why it's going out. That's why you feel that pain. That's why you feel that burning. That's why you feel that tingling. And that's why I wanted to do this demonstration to show y'all. Yo, I still have to bang. Who bangs water out of a straw? But I really want y'all to see that visual representation and see that parallel so you can understand like what is happening to your hair when you grease your scalp, right? And so if we go from greasing the scalp to something like hairstyling, right? Within my 7-day challenge within the group, one of the main questions that people are asking is different things about their hair care, hairstyling, and things of that nature. So before we jump into that, I want to go ahead and give you guys the opportunity to ask a couple of questions around the topic that we're on right now. All right. Do you have these issues? Are you a person who deals with things like that? And there is a reason, like I said, there's a reason why the majority of women with curly hair suffer from the same ailments and the same illnesses, right? Here is another one, right? So this one here, this lady here, basically you guys can read it for the most part yourself, right? So basically what she's saying is, I'm trying to get in the camera for you, or whatever, y'all know my hair. So basically what she's saying is she had a certain type of let's just read it. Okay, because I'm paraphrasing, gonna take me longer. Okay, so she says, I get really bad dandruff. Pause. Dandruff is an overproduction of sebum in the scalp. So as I'm talking, right, instead of me giving y'all a long, drawn out anything, right, instead of me giving you a long, drawn out answer, as I read through this, I'm going to explain to you what I've been saying over the years. And I'm also going to make the parallel for you to make you kind of understand dermatologists, the way they think, maybe why they're rude, because you have to understand when you come to somebody for counsel, right? For you just asking the question, you already are inferring that you know and understand that they know more in a specific topic than you, right? So that's already established. So when you ask somebody a question about something that you know and I know that you don't know, and then once you get the answer, you argue and you want the person to go back and forth with you, that's where it becomes a problem, right? And I think that is where the miscommunication comes from. So I'm just using this as an example. I'm not trying to embarrass nobody or nothing. All right? Okay. So you said I get really bad dandruff. Like I said, dandruff is an overproduction of oil in the scalp. And by having an overproduction of oil in the scalp, pay attention to what I'm about to say next. You have an overgrowth of bacteria. Okay? When you have dandruff, the overgrowth of sebum is most likely from different patterns that you've had from greasing the scalp, putting different oils and butters on the scalp. These are all things that cause inflammation and bacteria in the follicle. You know why? Yeast and bacteria naturally live on the scalp. So if you're greasing the scalp, like I just showed you, if you're greasing the scalp and you're blocking the follicle and you making an air pocket all the time, you create an amazing, beautiful environment for bacteria to grow. Okay? And the more bacteria you have in the follicle, the more stress the body is having. And when the body goes under stress, it sends a signal to the follicle to produce more sebum. So the more bacteria you have in the follicle, the more signals your body is going to send to the follicle to tell it to produce more oil, thinking that it can flush the bacteria out. But to fight the bacteria, you create an air pocket greasing the scalp, so you trap the bacteria in. Let's get back. All right. So I'll get really bad dandruff, like so much that I have a pile of it in my head in between washes if I don't use anything. The itching is unbearable. The itching is unbearable because you have dandruff, right? And dandruff, when you have dandruff, what is happening? The natural hair growth cycle is every 28 days. And every 28 days, the dead skin on your scalp, it falls off and then new skin comes up. And if it's a regular cycle, a regular skin cell turnover cycle, it's barely noticeable. You may see a couple of flecks here and there, but if certain practices like greasing the scalp, having braids in for too long, having weaves in for too long, constantly having your hair in braids and thinking that's a hairstyle, and I mean like 4 braids, plaits. We're going to get to that in a second. Having your hair in like not even hairstyles, just kind of throwing it on your head, putting a couple braids, like I'm not going nowhere, so I'm gonna just keep it like this. Like things like that. All of these different things cause stress within the hair follicle. And when the follicle is stressed, it sends a signal to produce more sebum. So if you have too much sebum and you greasing the scalp and you putting other stuff on your scalp to try to calm down the itching, you create an air pocket, just like the one you just saw, where I put the petroleum or the edge control on the bottom and then put water up, and you could see the because of that air pocket, there was a bubble of water on the bottom, but it wasn't coming out. I had to shake the water out. That is what's happening within the hair follicle. So dandruff means that you have a hair growth cycle that's set off balance because there are too many things being put on the scalp. Let's keep going. All right. So then it's unbearable. Dandruff is caused by overactive germ everyone has on their scalp. And that's not, listen, y'all have to stop getting bits and pieces. Dandruff is not just caused by that bacteria alone. It is a determining factor, But the only way that that bacteria can get overgrown enough to turn into dandruff is if it's not being cleansed properly. Things are not just happening out of nowhere on our bodies. So if you're not cleansing your scalp properly, that bacteria that is on everybody's body, it becomes overrun. It gets food. The dirt on your scalp is food to the yeast that naturally lives there. The dirtier your scalp is, the more bacteria will be there. It's just as simple as that. It's not like, oh, the has a mind of its own. No. If you feed it with filth, it'll get stronger. It's just as simple as that. Okay? And that is bacteria in any way, shape, or form. Let's keep going. Everyone has on the scalp. I'll only use it once per week, but rosemary water that I make myself really helps with that, along with rice water that I make myself. Okay, so first thing, rosemary. The only thing that rosemary is doing to the hair follicle, the only thing that clove is doing to the hair follicle, and keep in mind, I'm an herbalist with my own herbal apothecary. I sell multiple herbs. Those are a bunch of new herbal soaps that are not even on the site yet. Like, I am in love with herbs, but because I'm in love with herbs, I understand that there are some herbs that can kill you. And there are also some herbs that if you use them improperly, they do way more harm than good. So rosemary's cool. And yes, rosemary will help. Why? Because you're overgrown with bacteria. Your scalp is overgrown with bacteria. So the rosemary is just killing the bacteria. But see, what happens is the longer you use things like rosemary, clove, peppermint, and stuff like that on the scalp, you end up killing bad bacteria too, because something that kills bacteria doesn't only kill bad bacteria, it kills good and bad bacteria. So then you end up having a scalp overgrown of bad bacteria. And then you have nothing to fight off that additional yeast that you're adding to the scalp. That is why your hair is overgrown. Not to mention, rice water is one of the most active ingredients you could use as it pertains to bacteria. I have a video here on my channel where I take rice water under an electron microscope and it's swimming and moving. So the reason that the itching is unbearable is because you keep feeding the bacteria. You said it yourself. You have dandruff from a bacteria infection that everybody has. I mean, a bacteria on the scalp that everybody has. So you block the follicle, and so you end up having more bacteria on the scalp, and then you long term, you then go back and put rice water on it later, right? So then you said I still get that I make myself. I still get it from time to time, but it's not as thick and itchy anymore. Small amounts have really helped me. And the thing is, it's not that it helped you. Your scalp was overrun by bacteria, and then you use something that kills bacteria, and it killed the bacteria, and it went away. It's simplistic. And see, the more we complicate things by not following normal hair growth cycles, the harder it is, right? Because there are a lot of things that we don't want to hear. And so basically my response was I was telling her in short what I just told you guys, right? And then her response was like, no, that's not it, because she had dandruff way before she used rosemary and way before she used the rice water. So that's not it. And it was like, I'll just come and explain it to you here, because she said, what you say makes sense, but I've had dandruff all my life, way before I used rice water and rosemary. And I bet money that you've also been greasing your scalp or putting oils or butters on your scalp your whole life, right? So these are all things that we have to take into account. Those are things that you have to think about. And the human hair growth cycle is 7 years. So if however old you are, however long you've been greasing your scalp, you can multiply that time. That's sometimes how long it takes for that much bacteria to build up in the scalp. And see, what happens is most, like a woman like you, and I'm not saying it like it's in a disrespectful way, but a woman like you will go in to see a dermatologist. A dermatologist will tell you, well, oh, okay, you have an overproduction of sebum, right? You have an overproduction of sebum, dandruff, or seborrheic dermatitis. And then what they would do is tell you to get, because she did say this, like, oh, she got Head and Shoulders or dandruff shampoo or something, and it made it 10 times worse. And the reason that y'all think that things are made worse, and the reason that y'all get played, is because y'all look at hair in a vanity metrics, right? Which is understandable. When it comes to hair, the shinier it is, right? The wavier it is, the bouncier, the longer it is, the healthier it is. And that is what messes y'all up. That is what messes y'all up. When it comes to hair, as a licensed cosmetologist, as any hairstylist, any braider, they know that hair is about illusions. A master cosmetologist, a master hairstylist is a master at creating illusions. That's why you will have a woman come in with that much hair and then walk out with bundles to her butt, and you can't tell the difference, because it's about creating illusions. And the problem is, everybody looks at hair and what they see at face value. They look at that illusion and they put it as reality. And that is what is messing everybody up, because hair does not work like that. And this is coming from somebody who's been in the hair industry from over a decade, at the top of my industry. Like, I wasn't like, oh, she just does hair. Like, if you go back around that time, like, nobody else was messing with me as it pertains to silk presses, round brushing. Like, as it pertains to round brushing, nobody else was using a round brush before I started using it, period. I don't care what anybody says. So these are things that is coming from somebody who's had over 47,000 clients. I'm not just randomly throwing things out there. So these are things that I really, really want everybody to really think about, because as it pertains to growing your hair out, it is the need to have all of these hacks and all of these different things that you're supposed to do that ends up confusing everybody. And that's the last place that you're supposed to do. Hair care is not supposed to be complicated. I'm going to get to some of y'all questions, and then I'm going to jump into one of the groups to answer some questions within the group, because it's like, that's the benefit of joining my group. You get to ask questions and get them answered here live in detail, and it'll be like a mini coaching session, but you don't gotta pay for it, right? But a mini one, not a whole. Okay. I love this. And herbalist, you went to school for this. They offer a degree for this, like, not necessarily. I'm not being rude or off-putting, but people are weird. Like, people, there's a chick that I watch on YouTube, and she had a baby, and she told what hospital she was having her baby at, and it was a weird lady calling up to the hospital acting like she was her so she can know where her baby was. So I don't share where I get my degrees from, where I get my certifications from. I don't like people. I'm sorry, if it's not Googleable, I don't really put it out there. But if you want to book a one-on-one and you want me to like give you some pointers or where you can look, that's something different. But I don't share that information. I hope that wasn't rude. I just can't have people. Oh, well. My hair follicles have changed drastically 3 years ago. I went through a very well. See, and the thing is, when we're first of all of your follicles are independent. None of your follicles are together. So that's why when people be like, "Oh, not you," but when somebody say like, "Oh, I ate this," or "This happened," or "I got braids this day," and this happened, it's like you having tight braids on this side of your head is not going to affect the follicles all over your scalp, because none of your follicles are connected. All 100,000 follicles are independent, right? So once you target the reason behind the damage and the reason behind your telogen effluvium, then you can fix it. But you always have to target the problem. Yes, this is true. Now looking at it on a molecular level. Yes, exactly. I love you. You can tell you smart. Oh, I can't do hair no more. It's just it's not in me. I can't do it no more. Not me. I want to know how my hair works. It works the way it does and how to create success. Yes. And see, that's the thing. I want us to get in the pattern of learning the science of hair and not learning fads, because the fads, they don't last. That's why everybody's switching them up every week, because the fads never last. It's never sustainable. It's never sustainable. Nobody is about to sustain putting rice nipple juice, mixing it with yogurt and all of it. What are you doing? No, like, it takes too long. You got to think about it. I did hair for over a decade, and my clients have mocked every last one, unless they had a short pixie cut. That was my thing. I grew hair. None of them did tricks. The only thing that they were taught to do is to wrap their hair up before they go to bed and unwrap it in the morning. They wasn't hanging their head upside down, farting 4 times, and saying Rumpelstiltskin 7 times, then drinking Skittle juice. Like, no. You have to keep it simple. You have to keep it basic. Learn the basic science of your body and work with it, right? So that is what I'm always trying to make videos about. That's what I'm always trying to show y'all firsthand. I need you to know that dead skin blocks the hair follicle, which slows down the hair growth cycle. Write that down or screenshot this, right? Number 2, product overuse adds weight to the hair stream that causes them to get weak over time. Number 3, maintain oil control to lower the chances of scalp inflammation. This is one of the most vitally important things that you can do as it pertains to the health of your hair and your scalp. If you have seborrheic dermatitis, it's because there's an overgrowth of the bacteria. The only way that you can have an overgrowth of bacteria is if the bacteria is not being removed properly. That is the only way. The only way you can have an overgrowth of bacteria is if you allow too much bacteria to remain on the scalp. There is no overgrowth of bacteria if you're washing your hair on a regular basis. There is no blockage within the follicle if you're not putting petroleum-based products on the scalp. There's no blockage. And then if you do those things, then the things that you do need to do is make sure you are cleansing the scalp on a regular basis. Most people who block the follicles on a regular basis and who are greasing the scalp never exfoliate. Never. But you should be exfoliating whether you're blocking the follicle or not. But these are all things that we all need to think about because it is so vitally important. Like I said, blocked hair follicle is going to disrupt your entire hair growth cycle, right? And to promote healthy hair growth, it is so imperative that you make sure that you prevent your follicles from being blocked. It's so important to maintain a proper hair care routine. So a hair care routine, and a lot of y'all are not going to like what I have to say next, but I'm gonna say this and then I'm gonna hop right into it, because the more I mix words, the longer this is gonna take. All right. So to maintain a proper hair care routine, you have to make sure that you know the science of your body. You have to know your porosity. You need to know your scalp's profile. Do you sweat a lot in your scalp? Is your scalp oily? All of these things are going to determine how you wear your hair. I'm sorry. I don't care how you want to wear your hair. I don't care if you want to do silk presses for a while. It doesn't matter, my love. If you are a person like me who sweats in their scalp all the time, a silk press is not for you. This is where knowing your scalp's profile helps. And it doesn't matter how much humidity blocker you put on your scalp, you will then make your hair and your follicle more focused on fighting against the products you're putting on your hair than it can focus on growing your hair. through your natural hair growth cycle. So that's something that I really want you guys to think about. This includes regular cleansing of the scalp, and you have to cleanse the hair shaft to remove excess oil, dirt, and product buildup. Exfoliating the scalp gently can also remove dead skin cells, unclogging the hair follicles. So, by you having a repetitive cycle of shampooing your hair anyway, it makes it so freaking easy. You're never worried about uh a buildup of dead hair cells. If you're a person who's suffering from dandruff, the only reason you have dandruff is because your follicles are blocked. If you unblock the follicles and you change your diet and you stop triggering the body to produce excess sebum, it will stop. Hear me when I say this. As a person who sells products, there is no product that you will put on your scalp to stop your scalp from producing oil. There's no what I said that wrong. There is no you if you have seborrheic dermatitis, if you have an overproduction of oil, you adding an additional oil is not going to stop it. There are certain essential oil compounds, certain elixirs that you can take that can lower sebum production. There is, but adding a oil like just an almond oil, avocado oil, grapeseed oil, that will not slow down your sebum production. You know what it will do? It will add to the overgrowth of sebum, and it will cause you to have an even worse bacterial infection. All right. Y'all about to feel away that I did this because everybody else been saying stuff to me, and you're not supposed to pay favors. But hey, girl. Hey, TT doesn't. Oh, I love you, girl. Hey, girl. I'm sorry. She interrupted me. I kind of forgot what I was gonna say because she was. Hey, boo, girl. Hey, boo. How you doing, girl? Sorry, guys. So yeah, let me go back up to the top. I'm going to get to these questions. I'm going to get to the question within my group, and then I don't know. I don't want to say what we're gonna do after that. We're gonna let the everything take us. Okay, got you. So with that said, can menopause affect the weight? Absolutely. But I have to do a whole video on that. So bear with me. Give me about a week. Because I have real quick. So I've been getting carried away as an herbalist, and you guys love herbs, and I'm completely sold out of blue tea for right now. Don't know when it'll be coming back, but go on the website and then click that you like requesting to bring it back, and then you'll automatically be notified when it come back. But anyway, I have 4 new blends coming this week, and I'm doing a video for all of them, blog post for all of them. So bear with me, but I am going to be doing a video on menopause because absolutely it has a lot to do with it. But the reason that I want to do a separate video on menopause is, did y'all know the way that they tell you that as a woman, and this don't have nothing to do with race, as a woman, once you hit a certain age, your body stops releasing certain hormones? No, that is not true. There is something that happens, a part of you that stops, but there's another piece of your body that does exactly what your body is supposed to be doing. There is a way you can stop having hot flashes. There's a way you can prevent your body from having hot flashes because it's not normal. It's not actually supposed to happen. There are things that you can do to prevent that from happening to your body, but I have to do a whole separate video on that. Can you see? Look, I feel like I'm hyperventilating. I'm gonna give me a minute. Ooh, give me what you got for a pork chop. Can you make a video on how to properly clean hair tools? Can you not get mad at me when I say this? YouTube itself has made life entirely too difficult. It is not deep. I do not need to make a video on that. Girl, you better clean it the same way you clean everything else in your house. The only difference is you can go to Sally's, right? Just go to Sally's, and they have like soap and brush cleaners and barbicide. So all you're gonna do, you just clean the brushes, get all of the hair out, soak them in water for a minute. I always do it for like 30 minutes. I like soak it in water, in soapy water. Then after I soak it in soapy water, I'll like wash them through with my hands one more good time, then rinse them out until like the water runs clear, and then I get about like the Barbicide jar will tell you what to do. But you just get Barbicide and a certain amount, fill the sink up or the bowl, whatever, with water. Put the Barbicide in there, put the combs and brushes in that bad boy, cover it, leave it for the allotted time, follow the directions on the bottle, and then boom, you done. It is not complicated. Hey, boo, can you do me a favor? Because I think you asked me a question and I screenshotted it on my phone. But if you could ask me here, that'd be amazing. I often forget that what we put on our bodies affects our environment. Absolutely. Cleansing with a specific kind of cleanser or any, is there a difference cleanser for different kinds of things you put in your hair, or should it? What you mean? What do you mean cleanser? Like a shampoo, or are you talking about like for your tools? Give me what you got for a pork chop. I want you to go watch the video that I made on moisture. I don't think you're gonna like what I have to say, but I'm just being honest. The first thing that you need to do is lose that whole sentence. What do you do to retain moisture? Like, stop. Don't your hair don't need to retain nothing. All you have to do is keep a clean scalp. It within your hair shaft. Hold on, I'm explaining, but I'm about to show you a visual because I have a visual. Hold on. Within your hair shaft, there is a sebaceous gland, right? And within that sebaceous gland is an oil gland. Your scalp produces its own oil, and as long as you comb or brush your hair regularly, it's nothing for that sebum to go from your scalp to your ends. There's no tricks. There's no you comb it. I swear to God, the only thing you have to do to maintain moisture in your hair is comb it. I swear to God, on everything I love. I have been doing hair since I was since I was 19. I'm about to be 33. I swear to God, there's nothing you can do more powerful than keeping a clean scalp and combing your hair. I swear to God. Every woman that y'all see with hair to their butt, none of them are doing the stuff that y'all do. None of them. All they're doing is keeping their scalp clean and combing their hair. I swear to God. And I know that I know it for a fact. Because this is what I do. This is what I've been doing my whole life. I don't do hair or anything like as a fad or none of that. Like, this is what I do. I'm telling you, y'all, like it's not that deep. Hold on, I'm just trying to find it. Hold on, y'all. Hold on, sugar. No, this is not the one. I'm gonna keep looking because I really want to show you the way that this gland looks. I'll get to it in a second. Hold on. Thank you, baby. I'm tapping in my ears. I love you, girl. Will you leave this video up? Oh yeah, I will. Hold on. Yes, I can't wait. Thank you, Jesus. Praise God. No problem, babe. I got you. When I do protective styles with braids or cornrows, I notice I shed a lot more on wet hair than dry. When I braid on wet hair, I see more breakage. But when I braid my hair dry, I see less breakage. You know why? You're never supposed to braid your hair. You're not supposed to do nothing with your hair wet but wash it and blow dry it. Or put a roller set in. And this is why you have to have certain patterns and routines. What, like, hair is a fiber, right? And it's weakest when it is wet. Hair is a fiber that is weakest when it's wet. Somebody Google it for me and put it and then put the Wikipedia definition or the whatever answer you get, put it in the comments. Hair is weakest when it is wet and strongest when it is dry. Your hair is made up of 3 bonds. The salt bond that is broken by highly acidic products. So for all of my people who like to use apple cider vinegar in their hair and highly acidic products, over time you break the hydrogen bond. And I mean the salt bond in the hair, making your hair shaft weaker. This is why when you do your Team Natural thing for 2 years, you don't use no shampoo. All you've been using is rice water, and your hair is super long when you stretch it out. But then when your hairstylist goes to blow dry your hair and straighten it, it's see-through and it leads to be cut off. That's because you've been loading your hair up with highly acidic products that break the salt bond. Number 1. Number 2, the disulfide bond. That's the bond that's broken permanently with chemicals and heat, stuff like that. Number 3 is the hydrogen bond. The hydrogen bond is a temporary bond in your hair that is only broken by water. So if these are the 3 bonds that are holding your hair together, and this is what gives your hair strength, a broken bond looks like this. So when you braid a hair that has a broken bond, you braiding hair that's broken apart with no direction. It's completely pliable, it's weak. So it's snapping and breaking because the follicle is broken. Your hair is weakest when it's wet. That's why you never braid wet hair, because it's all going to fall out. This is why I tell y'all to detangle on dry hair, because when you detangle on wet hair, you're going to have a glob of hair in your brush. Why? Because your hair is weakest when it is wet. It is most prone to breakage when it is wet, and it is the strongest when it is dry. That's why. Stop doing anything to your hair when it's wet. There's nothing protective about a protective style if you putting it in with wet hair. TT braid. TT does it all braids. I've never seen TT do a full weave with a lace closure on wet hair. And if she did, I would not be in here like, hey girl, I'm glad you in here. I'll be like, here go this wet braiding ass. You get on my goddamn nerves. Dawn and bleach, girl. Dawn and bleach. Oh, how about apple cider vinegar? I hate it. I hate it. It's for pickles. It's to curry your milk. It's for food. I eat apple cider vinegar on a regular basis. Apple cider vinegar is pure acid. It has absolutely no nutritional value. Oh, I'm about to look it up. Right here. Don't judge my bowl of nuts. Right here. It has no nutritional value whatsoever. Hold on. Oh, dang it. Hold on. Let's get into it real quick. Real quick for the one time. Real quick for me, baby. Hold on. Here we go. Okay, now let me share the screen. Because it's a myth. I'm not trying to start. Listen, you want to be starting something. It don't. No, but apple cider vinegar does not have any nutritional value. Are we saying the same thing? Are we saying the same thing? Are we saying this ain't even a good one? Hold on, I gotta find the other one. Hold on, y'all. Because this one don't have enough ingredients. Hold on. Here we go. Right. Hold on. Sorry, sexies. Just real quick. Just like apple cider vinegar has no nutritional value. Zero across the board. Zero potassium, zero iron, zeros across the board. It has no nutritional value. It is literally fermented apples, and you can use fermented apples to unclog your sink. Why? Because it is an acid, but it is zeros across the board. It has no nutritional value whatsoever. The only thing that is doing is cleansing. That's it. Apple cider vinegar is a pure acid. It is a pure vegetable acid. All right. It is produced by bacteria and yeast. It is a fermented version of apples. It is pure freaking acid, y'all. That is it. That is all. It has no nutritional value. So if apple cider vinegar is strong enough to clear out a sink clogged with hair, what do you think is going to do to your hair shaft long term? And this is not coming from observation. This is coming from a master cosmetologist who's done hair over a decade, whose specialty was repairing the long-term effects of rice water, apple cider vinegar, and all of the different hacks that y'all try out. That's why I'm so passionate about all of them, because I knew about them when they came, because I had to fix women's hair from it. All right. So wait, how do I feel about apple cider vinegar for shampoo? I feel like you just need to use a regular shampoo. Why put acid in your hair and walk around smelling like pickle juice? Just use a regular shampoo. Remember the last comment I made on the previous live, root to hair loss. I'm not being rude, but babe, no, I don't remember. You're going to have to just ask the comment to say it again, because I'm not. Girl, it's so much stuff in my brain that I got going on. I'm not going to remember. I'm sorry. I am definitely here for this, and I know I need a correction. And that's the thing. I don't want y'all to get upset with me. I don't want you to get mad, right? Let me say this last thing, right? Let me say this last thing, and then I'm going to get to the rest of the comments. I promise. Let me say this last thing. I don't want y'all to get mad at me for this, especially the person that I'm yeah. Okay, I'm gonna try to, okay. Hold on. It's the last time I'm sharing the screen. This is a comment from the 7-day challenge. So within the 7-day challenge, listen, you already getting a whole bunch of information and lessons and all of that stuff. But sometimes when you when it's a longer answer, then we'll just come live. So that's why everybody just be knowing when your girl going live. All right. So, what's going on? Okay, here we go. So this is my website. I'll give you guys the links to everything in a second. I'm just taking myself off the screen so that way it's easier for you to see. I know it's kind of hard. It's as big as I can get, right? Okay, so you say, hi, everyone. I'm a new member, and I'm happy to be here. Okay, so the purpose of this voice is to ask a question. As of right now, I am studying for nursing. Yes, girl. So I'm not leaving my house at all. Last month, I'm just mostly in my room reading and on my computer studying. My current wash day routine is once, maybe every 3 weeks, and nothing on my scalp. The routine was detangling with oil, shampoo, condition, deep condition. Okay, so we're going to say this as we go because I'm going to forget stuff. Y'all, stop conditioning and deep conditioning at the same time. It is a waste of money, a waste of time, and too much weight on the hair shaft. In one day, your hair follicle can only absorb 36% of whatever you put on it. After you rinse the conditioner out the first time, the deep conditioner does nothing. It's like pouring more water inside of a cup that is already full. Stop conditioning and deep conditioning at the same time. pick either a conditioner or a deep conditioner. You do not use both. The reason that people have been letting y'all do it is because the same people that told you to do that are the same people who sold you the products or got a commission from selling you the products. So they had you buy two. Don't take my word for it. The human hair shaft can only absorb 36% of what you put on it. So it can only absorb 36% of that first conditioner. After that, it didn't even absorb the rest of the first conditioner. So once you put the extra deep conditioner on, nothing happens but you putting more weight on the hair shaft. That is it. That is all. That is a fact. Google it. I am not making it up. All right, moving along. My current wash day routine, maybe once every 3 weeks. Condition and decondition. Leave in oil to finish off, and then braid my hair in 6 braids, 3 on each side. Let it dry, and then wash and then wash it in the next 3 weeks. If I had to leave the house, I put a headband wig on. So if I'm understanding this correctly, you're saying that every 3 weeks, the only thing that you're doing to your hair is one time in basically a month, once a month, your hair gets attention. Once a month, you take down your braids, wash it, blow dry it, and put them right back in braids, and they don't get touched for 3 weeks. Okay? So let's keep going. And I'm not attacking or anything. I just really want you to hear what I'm saying. Okay? I want anyone's opinions on the new routine I want to do, which is shampoo, deep condition, leave in, and nothing else. Maybe an oil on my ends to protect them, and to do this every 2 weeks per the challenge video. I also want to blow dry hair so it's straight more, and then I can do the scientific brushing or general brushing for my whole hair shaft. I know Cyn wants us to find a style for our hair, but I would want to do the 6 braids again, since I'm not going anywhere besides reading at my desk. I'm open to advice. Listen, I don't want y'all to get mad at me when I say this, but this form of thinking, and I love you so much, boo, I love you, but this form of thinking is why Black women are not getting hair as long as everybody else is. You are in nursing school, right? As a nurse, what would happen to one of your clients who, let's say you are a nurse for a woman who had a baby, or somebody who just had surgery? What is going to happen to a person, some legs that don't get touched but once every 3 weeks? You don't move your legs, you're not moving your arms, you're not touching your body. There is no blood flow, there is no oxygen flow, there is no movement on the hair shaft in 3 weeks. But once every 3 weeks. What would happen to your patient? What would happen to that limb if it was only exercised once every 3 weeks? And then what would happen to their body? If you in physical therapy after something, you don't get to get up once a week and move. No, you are having repetitive cycles of things that you're doing every single day. Every day you're gonna have to get up and do certain exercises to get certain muscles in your body triggered again. You're gonna have to do certain things to keep blood flow moving. The reason that Black women have problems with hair growth is because their hair follicles are dead, blocked. Their hair shaft has no movement. We think that just because our hair is harder to do, that is okay for us to not do it. My love, just because nobody sees your hair doesn't mean that your hair is not royal and worthy of attention. So the only time that your hair shaft and your follicle is worthy of attention is if you leave in the house. If other people see you, what about how you see you? Your body is a machine, and it is not going to respond to you if you don't show it respect. It's just as simple as that. And I know sometimes that may be hard for a lot of people to understand, but it is the truth. You cannot expect for your hair to do anything, and all you do is wash it once a month and then leave it in braids on the top of your head. No. Because if we, like, you're a scientist, you're a nurse, you're a scientist. If you sit down with people, right? If you sit down with a woman as a scientist, right? You know that you can do the scientific method, which does the process of elimination. So if you, as a scientist, as a nurse, my love, this is what you do. If you go in and you have two patients and you trying to figure out what's the difference between the two of them, why is this medication working on her and not her? What are you going to do? You're going to sit down and you're going to ask them questions, and you're going to figure out what their patterns are. You're going to ask them what their routines are. And once you figure out their patterns and their routine, you can then map out the differences. And by mapping out the differences, you can see why one is getting results and why one is not. So if I use us as an example, if you see a woman, let's say a Samoan woman who has hair to her butt, and then you look at a black woman from, I'm gonna say where I'm from Detroit, who hair ain't never grew past right here, right? And then you sit them down and you ask them what their patterns are. The one who got hair down to her butt, when you ask her how often she washes her hair, she's gonna say, every day or once every 2 days. But then you ask the other lady how often she washes her hair, she's gonna say once every 3 weeks. You ask one, how often do you comb and brush your hair? Your hair is so shiny and beautiful. How often do you comb and brush your hair? And what do you put in it? She's gonna say, I don't put anything in my hair, but maybe leave-in conditioner. And I brush my hair twice a day, in the morning when I wake up and at night before I go to bed. But then if you go ask the other woman from Detroit who hair right here, if you ask her how often do you brush her hair, she's gonna say combs and brushes are bad. I don't use combs and brushes. I only finger detangle, because combs and brushes break off your hair. I just want you to see it. I just want you to hear it. I'm not trying to offend you, but if you can hear it yourself, you can give me a tool if that sounds like, if that still sounds smart to you. It's so easy. When you do the process of elimination, you can clearly see the differences. One group of women braids hair and then takes a bottle of oil and squeezes it all over their scalp and then don't wash their hair off for like 3 months. Or, well, girl, say 3 months. You squeeze the oil because it looks so good on the videos. And you squeeze the oil in between every braid, and then you don't wash your hair for about a month. She don't do that. If she does put oil on her hair, she's doing it as a treatment, and she's going to wash it out that night. She's not going to leave it in for 3 months. That is the difference. So if we just pay attention to small differences like that, it's so easy to get to the why. It's so easy to get to the why. And if we lose our pride, because the thing is, I tell y'all this difference all the time, but it is your pride that says, I've been doing this for 20 years. You've been doing it for 20 years and it ain't been working. So try something else. And what I'm telling you to try costs nothing. It actually costs less. I'm telling you to do less. Why are you arguing about doing less? Why are you arguing about spending less money? Do less and see what happens. All right. Hold on. Sorry, I'm just trying to get to where I left off. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I don't know. Okay, wait. I think I got it. Okay. Here we go. Okay, though the last comment I don't remember. Okay. Girl, preach, fellow professional. Diva Designs. I'm trying it. And it's getting better, because all of the girls that told y'all that hairstylists can't be trusted and don't go to hairstylists, all them went back to hairstylists, and they don't even make hair videos no more. They do commentary. And they all back booking hairstylists again. Shit. Okay. think I'm caught up. What about moisturizing when wearing braids? Yo, look, you don't need, listen, y'all, if there's one thing that y'all can take from this live, it would be this. Stop worrying about how to add moisture to your hair. Think about this. If the moisture that you need is sebum, and if the sebum that you have comes directly from the follicle, when your hair is braided, where is it sitting? Directly on your scalp, right? There is nothing that you have to do. It's going to do it itself. God is a masterful creator. And I'm not, my energy is towards you. God is a masterful creator. Why do we constantly think that God needs our help? God does not need your help. Your body breathes. Right now at this very second, your kidneys are moving, your heart is beating, everything, it's like all of the blood is running through your veins, going to the right arteries. Your brain is sending signals from your ear back to your brain so you can hear me and understand what I'm saying. If your body is doing all of that and you're not doing nothing, your body still functions all through the night while you sleeping. You're not even conscious. And you don't do anything to help it. If your body can do that, why do you think that it needs you to moisturize your hair? I'm not being disrespectful, and it's not towards you. I just need you to, this is how I need you to think. If your heart can beat and your whole body can run without any of your assistance all through the night, why do you think that you need to do extra stuff to moisturize your hair other than keeping your scalp clean? It's not a rhetorical question. I really like, why? Your stress relief tips from our consultation are helping, by the way. Oh, I'm so excited to hear that. I'm about to stalk you later. It was so funny that you said I'm stalking you tomorrow. So email me so I don't have to stalk you, because I was going to be like, hey, how you doing? How are we with stress? Are you feeling good? I really, really hope it's way better. Sebum is like the ultimate vitamin protector moisturizer for our hair. Listen to me. Sebum provides protection from sun rays. It provides protection from bacteria because it has antimicrobial and antibacterial properties. That's why people who grease their scalp have scalp infections, because the follicle is blocked and the sebum can't get out to fight the bacteria on the scalp and on the hair shaft. What are we talking about? God does not need your help. Yes, you are a masterpiece. You do not need to do anything to retain moisture but keep your scalp clean and comb your freaking hair. That is it. And then as it pertains to the texture of our hair, this is where hair products come in, because you need to prep your hair to be combed properly depending on what style you're using, and your products help you with those styles. For example, you run to the tool of a foam wrap if you're gonna do a roller set. That's the tool that I need. I need a leave-in conditioner, foam wrap, and some rollers. Those are my tools. And then a wide tooth comb, and then some serum for the end to finish it. Those are my tools. They're not doing anything. I am doing the work. You are doing the work. The products are the tools. That is it. That is all. Same thing for a flat iron. The blow dryer, the leave-in conditioner, all of those, these are tools. These are all tools. And sebum itself comes out of the follicle to keep the scalp clean. Guess what? If you have sebum coming out of your scalp on a regular basis, all of the extra bacteria that's there is being killed naturally by the sebum and the acid that is being released from the hair follicle. But it is when you allow that bacteria to overgrow and you're blocking the follicle, now there's not enough sebum that can get out to fight the bacteria that naturally lives on the scalp. Then you only co-washing, and you add in all of this extra oil to the scalp that prevents it prevents the good bacteria from doing its job. So now, instead of the good bacteria only having to fight with the overrun of bad bacteria, it now has to also fight the actual oil that you put in. Or if you put rice water in your hair, it has to then deal with the rice water. If you put apple cider vinegar in your hair, apple cider vinegar is a bacteria. It is it's fermented apple juice. When something ferments, that means it's an overgrowth of bacteria. Within the body, great. On the scalp, it adds to the bacteria that is already there, and it creates a form of bacteria that is a little different. You guys are creating hybrids on the scalp. Okay? Really hope that makes sense. I think that my hair is back to the anagen phase, but from mids to ends. Okay, now I remember. You thinking too much. So it don't work like that. All of your follicles are independent. They are not all on the same phase of your hair growth cycle at the same time. So you're not going to be able to look at your hair and say anagen phase, canogen phase, telogen phase. It don't work like that. You have 100,000 follicles, and all 100,000 follicles are on a different phase of the hair growth cycle. Some of the follicles are in the telogen phase. Some of the follicles are on the anagen phase. Some of the follicles are in the estrogen phase. Some of the follicles are in the telogen phase. Some of the follicles are in the canogen phase. Every follicle is independent. That's what and I'm not being rude. Get out. You cannot tell anything about the health of your hair by visually looking at it. Period. And that's what gets people messed up. You think your hair is moisturized if it looks shiny. That's not true. My wall gonna look shiny if I put a bunch of grease on it. That doesn't mean that it's moisturized from a cuticle level, from the cortex. It just means that it looks shiny. Somebody's face can be super oily. That doesn't mean their skin is healthy. Just because it's oily, that doesn't mean that it's healthy. It just means that it's oily. Doesn't mean that it's healthy. You cannot visually look at your scalp and see what phase of the hair growth cycle you are in. Not to mention, at one point, only about 10% of your follicles are in the canogen phase. About 5% of your follicles are in the canogen phase. Only about 5 to 10% of your follicles are in the telogen phase. And only about 5% of your follicles are in the estrogen phase. And about 80 to 90% of your follicles, are in the anagen phase at all times. It don't work like that. Like, oh, I'm looking at my hair in the mirror. This is anagen phase. Looking at my hair in the mirror, canogen phase. It does not work that way. That is why I want y'all to get in the habit of hearing what comes out of my mouth and going and doing your research. Because when you go do your research, you will see that there are layers to the science of hair. There are layers to the science of the human body. That's why a cosmetologist got to go to school for 2 years and a dermatologist got to go to medical school, because they go deeper. It's not as simple as, oh, anagen phase on my hair. It don't work like that. And this is when we make mistakes, because you hear one thing that I say and then you run with it without doing all your research. And I'm not being disrespectful. I want you to use this as an example. I'm giving bits and pieces of a whole. Hair is so complex. The human body is so complex. You don't just watch one video and have everything figured out. It does not work that way. You need to become a master of your body. And the only way you can master something is if you study it. The only way you can master something is if you know everything about it from top to bottom. That's it. You will not know or master anything with the human body from watching one of my videos. I have been studying the human body my whole life. Well, not my whole life. Since I was 20. At first, I was just like, oh, hair. But then I got infatuated with the human body when I turned 20. And I've been studying the human body since I was 20 years old. I'm about to be 33. You will not learn everything that there is to learn for watching one video. I'm giving you nuggets so you can go dig for the rest. And when we're talking about the hair on your the ends, the reason that the hair on the ends look thinner, the hair on your ends, that's your old hair from your old patterns, your old routines. That's the hair that was thinner, that was breaking, that's more sporadic, because those were your old patterns. The new, thicker, fuller hair that you're seeing is the hair that you're growing. And that hair is thicker and fuller than the ends. Why? Because it doesn't have the same type of breakage. The hair shaft is thicker and fuller because you're not doing the things that you used to do. That's the difference that you see. You have two separate heads of hair on one head. It's just as simple as that. I hope that makes sense. Does using a developer damage your hair? If you use it wrong, if you don't know what you're doing, it'll damage. I'm not being rude, but it'll damage your hair because you're not familiar with color. And I'm not being disrespectful. When I was in cosmetology school, girl, I damaged my hair a lot because I didn't know what I was doing. I thought just because I was in school and there's the dispensary right there, that's what we called it. It was the dispensary. I could color my hair any color I wanted to at any time of the day. Just because you watch a video or just because you read a book and you think you know how to do something does not mean you know how to do it. The field of cosmetology is one that you master after repetition. Everything that I do now, I sucked at when I first started. But the longer I did it, the more respect I had for the craft, the more I perfected my craft. And then I brought it to the world after it was perfect. But you will make your hair and everybody else's fall out if you just go color your hair. I'm super young, but I can't wait for the menopause video. Oh, yes, it's coming. I can't wait. And my mom's going through menopause right now, so I know exactly what I'm talking about. Because I be having my mama right. What are your... I don't have no thoughts on razor bumps. They eat razor bumps. It's either razor bumps or hydrogenated super. A lot of people that think that is a lot of men that think that it's just razor bumps from shaving. A lot of black men have hydrogenated suppurativa and don't know. Hydrogenated suppurativa shows up in men right here in the back of the head. This part right here, there's a whole bunch of pus-filled bumps. Mm-hmm. So the same man who has that, ask him if that's your boo, do it in private. Ask him if he has those anywhere else on his body. Tell him you ain't gonna judge him because most likely it's in a place that he does not want to freaking talk about. So it may be like men normally get symptoms of HS like in a booty crack. So that's males, men ain't trying to talk shit about their booty crack to nobody. Okay. So just ask him if he has the symptoms anywhere else. Because it may be HS. Just say that. What you're speaking of doesn't make money for these companies. They don't want them to know this. Is keep talking. Exactly. And that's the thing. And I think that's the thing that irritated me the most, TT, because when I've been saying the same stuff for years, and it'll never change because facts don't change. They don't. Facts don't switch up. They just don't. Like, they just don't. I'm always gonna be black. Hey, my name always gonna be Cynthia. It's a fact. Don't switch up. That's what it said on my birth certificate. You feel me? Like, but the thing is, the truth doesn't make money. Just like with the pharmaceutical company. It's a show on Netflix called Magic Mushrooms or Mighty Mushrooms or something. Watch that. Because it breaks down to you how there was this big group of scientists, right? And it was this certain type of mushroom that they found that they were studying. It is like, I'm a nerd, so I don't know if you're gonna be into it, but I'm so freaking in. I think it's called Fantastic Fungi. I think I'm gonna look it up before we leave. But on that video, it talked about how not penicillin. Was it penicillin? Not penicillin. It's another pharmaceutical like that. And basically it was derived from a plant. And it was these doctors, it was that and a mushroom, right? And what they did, that was like, hey, it's a certain disease. Y'all got to watch it. I don't want to tell it to y'all. It's a certain disease. These group of doctors was like, hey, instead of people being on these pharmaceutical drugs for freaking the rest of their lives, right? They can take this one pill 2 times and the disease is cured forever. So what ended up happening was the pharmaceutical company contacted the government and was like, they trying to take our money. We don't like this. Nope. So then they made magic mushrooms. They made mushrooms against the law. They outlawed them. So that way, though, that group of doctors could no longer do it. They shut down their labs, they research and everything. And it was all about money. Because if people would have known, and this is on Netflix right now, if people would have known everything that those doctors were able to cure with 2 pills, mind you, with 2 pills, you paying, I think they said it was like maybe like 50 to $100 for this one treatment. And then the doctor never has to see you again. How is the pharmaceutical company going to make money? The pharmaceutical company makes bread off of your sickness. They don't make money if you're cured. The same thing goes for these product companies. If they teach you the real science of hair and how easy it is, if they tell you that all you got to do is use a shampoo, a conditioner, spray a leave-in conditioner on your hair, because your leave-in conditioner is your heat protector for your blow dryer, blow dry your hair, and then depending on what you do to your hair, if you braiding it, you can get like some braiding gel or some styling putty or whatever the tool is that you use to braid. Or if you straightening your hair, all you need is a thermal heat protectant. Wrap it under the dryer, a serum, walk away, and that's it. And you only need to buy these products maybe twice a month. I mean, I'm sorry, maybe like every 2 months. How much money do you think these companies will make? Do you think all of these brands that made billions of dollars off the hair industry would have made billions if y'all was only buying one fucking bottle of these products every 2 months? No. But they got y'all thinking that you need a conditioner and a deep conditioner at the same time. Every chemist that makes a product knows that the hair shaft is only going to absorb 36% of whatever you put on it. But they still telling you, do a conditioner first and then a deep conditioner, and y'all all buying it. I have people tell me like, hey, I'm watching Cyn, but I seen her years ago and I didn't want to hear her. I didn't listen to nothing she said because what she was saying was so different than everybody else. So it wasn't because what I was saying was wrong. I was saying something. I wasn't doing what I wasn't a yes man. So because I wasn't a yes man, and because I wasn't following the leader, and because I wasn't like third like all of the other chicks, then my words were not valid because they were not storybook and matching everybody else's. These are things that we all need to think about, like for real. Right now, I'm just using almond oil for detangling first, then clarifying shampoo, then blow dry using a heat protected, then I flat iron. What heat protector do you use? You do not need, unless it says blow dry heat protected. If you are spraying a thermal heat protectant on your hair before you blow dry it, you are going to ruin your hair. So what kind of heat protectant are you using? A leave-in conditioner is your heat protectant for your blow dryer. That's what a leave-in conditioner is for, y'all. It's not to like condition. To condition the hair means to prepare, to prep. That's what condition means. To prepare and prep. When you when you put conditioner on after you shampoo, you prepare the hair for being styled. That's what you're preparing for. You're preparing the hair for styling. When you use a leave-in conditioner, you're preparing the hair to be dried. You're preparing the bonds to be set. Like that's why products are tools, and the only ways that tools are effective is if you know how to use the tool, if you know what you're using the tool for. But the problem is most of us have no idea why we're using the tools that we're using. We just use them because people on YouTube told us to. Hair fibers are lightweight, teeny tiny fibers made of keratin protein, the same keratin found in strands that can be applied to your hair scalp, makes the appearance of, listen, look, y'all, listen, like we can't get more clear than this. You can't get more clear than this. And this is the thing. From now on, every time you watch a video and somebody tells you something, go type in what they said, and then after it put .edu. And when you put .edu after anything that you say, it pulls up medical journals. When you just type on Google, you pull up information for females just like you who don't know what they're talking about. Type in the question and then type in MD after it, or EDU, MD or EDU. And what will happen is, what will pop up is medical journals with studies that have scientific information that you can apply. I love y'all, but we cannot blame these YouTubers for y'all lack of research. You listen to what a stranger said on YouTube and you did it, you ran with it, and now you have damaged hair follicles. Do not do that with me. I am not trying to be your storybook. I am not trying, oh, Cyn Doll said no. I am trying to awaken the guru in you. I'm not trying to be your personal guru. I need you to know how smart you are. I need you to know that you are the master of your body, not me, not nobody that you see on YouTube, and not a product line. If the thing is, every woman listening to the, or man listening to the sound of my voice should be able to do their hair and maintain healthy hair, skin, and nails without any products. You should have the know-how to do that. I'm not saying do that. I'm saying you should know enough about your body to know exactly how to target an issue. Hair products are not going to do that. Apple cider vinegar may be just altering the pH balance of the follicle. No, it's not. It's acid. It's eating the hair follicle. It's not balancing pH. It's acid. What? Okay, do me a favor. Everybody that want to put apple cider vinegar in their hair, do me a favor. Go get some paint, a paint chip somewhere, or a wall, or some paint. Go get some paint from a store. Paint it. Get. This is what I want you to do. Go to Home Depot. Get some paint. Get just like a little sample, little thing of paint, and get a piece of wood, and paint it. Paint the wood. Make 2 layers of paint on the wood, and then sit apple cider vinegar on that wood and tell me what happens to it. And then you tell me if whether or not you think apple cider vinegar should go on the hair shaft. I know for a definite fact that wood is way stronger than your hair strand, and you're gonna watch it deteriorate wood. So if it can deteriorate wood, why are you putting it in your hair? You want to know the easiest way to balance your scalp's pH balance? Washing your hair with freaking water and some shampoo. Yeah, you'll have a temporary balanced pH level for a minute, but then you'll also have a fiber eating acid laying on your hair shaft. Like, apple cider vinegar is for your body, period. I love you, but y'all, let's stop quoting articles. The articles that you have read on apple cider vinegar were made by women researching BS online just like y'all. Apple cider vinegar has no nutritional value. Its only purpose is to eat everything in its path. It is an acid. It is a fact. I don't care how much water you mix with it. If you mix water with any other acid, it is still acid, or does it become something else because it's mixed with water? No, it just becomes water with acid in it. Like, what? Come on, y'all. Like, your toilet is full with water when the apple cider vinegar unclogs the sink. The toilet is full with water. So why do y'all like to say, oh, if you add water to it, it's no longer acid? When you unclog a toilet with apple cider vinegar, there is nothing but water and apple cider vinegar in the toilet, but it can still unclog your sink. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. What ingredients should be in our... I love you, boo, but you think way too much. I have been doing hair for over a decade, and I've never, like, what do you mean what ingredients? If I tell you what ingredients, my love, you won't know. You won't know. You just have to study your hair, look at the products, look at the product lines, look at who made the brands, do research, understand the human body, the hair shaft. What do you need? For example, if you are a person who has low porosity hair and a follicle that's always tight, one thing that I always recommend is by Paul Mitchell, and it's the one with tea tree and rosemary, if I'm not mistaken, right? Okay, so they use that. When you look at it, it says on there, it helps you open the follicle. It tells you what it does on the bottle. Know your scalp's profile, know what you need. When you go into the beauty supply store, read the bottles and see which product matches your scalp's profile and your needs. When you read the back of the label, sis, you're not a chemist. There are 50 million ingredients that you would never know. Not to like that doesn't matter. You need to know the science of your hair's profile, and what your hair needs. And then you can go and figure out what hair products you need. You don't say, oh, these hair products are good, and then that's how you get it. No, you have to learn your hair, figure out what your hair needs, and then go in the beauty supply store and read the bottles and see which product matches what needs you need fulfilled. It's that simple. Like, don't y'all thinking too much. What to do? What do you do with it? Like how? What do you mean? I told you they don't want y'all to know these products aren't necessary. That's what I'm saying. That shows down their coins. None of these products are necessary, y'all. What? Like Tia and Tamira. Do y'all think Tia and Tamira been what? Tia and Tamira have been famous their entire lives. Do y'all think these women have been at home spraying and putting all that shit in their hair? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Come on. She ain't been doing her hair. She been rich her whole life. She's had a hairstylist her whole life. She ain't been flat twisting like y'all. Come on, man. Come on, dog. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Yep. Blood clots and dies out. Exactly. She's talking about that's what's going to happen. If I asked her, because she's a nurse, and I asked her, what would happen to your body? What would happen to a limb if it was just set there and nothing, and you didn't move it, but one time every 3 weeks? What would happen? And she said it would get blood clots and cyanosis. Is that cyanosis? I'm not a doctor. I don't know. I'm not in the medical field. I don't know your terminology. I mean, I am kind of, but not like that. I don't know. It loses function, blood clots, and dies out. What do you think is happening to your hair? This is why most women will be like, "Oh, I'm team natural," and they haven't touched heat. They did all this stuff. They've been hanging upside down with rice nipple juice on their hair and everything. But then every time they touch their hair, they're like, blow dryers and combs are the devil, because when they comb their hair break. Why? What she just said. It's never exercise. You comb your hair, you blow dry it, you put it in 4 braids, and you sit it on your head until your next wash day. So if you decide one day that you're going to pick up a comb and a brush, the second that any type of movement, any type of manual manipulation happens, it's going to break. I'm going to ask you again, any doctors here, anybody in the medical field, what would happen to a bone structure that was once broken, that is not exercised for months? And then one day they decide to get up and go run. What would happen? Every bone in that, it would break. Something would happen. Nothing good. But that's what y'all do to y'all hair. You won't touch your hair for a month and then take the weave out and then go to a hairstylist and be like, oh, she brushed my hair and it broke off. Hell yeah, it did. But it's not her fault, it's yours. Because the first time you've touched your hair in 3 months was when this stranger did it. This stranger that doesn't know that you don't touch your hair. Your hair is weak. So it's going to be prone to manual manipulation. Manual damage. Mechanical damage. I'm sorry. You'll suffer from massive mechanical damage. That's why most women who do the team natural thing, when they finally blow dry their hair, all their hair is broken off. That's why women who do the team natural thing, whenever they comb their hair breaks off. Why? Because you never comb it. So when it's combed, your hair like, oh shit, what's going on over here? Oh shit, Leroy, my bad, I didn't fell out. Because it's not used to being combed. It doesn't know what the hell is going on. It has no idea. It has no clue. Just because no one sees your hair doesn't mean that your hair is not royal. It doesn't mean that your hair isn't worthy of your attention. No. That's like for real. And I'm sorry if it make you feel away, but like y'all treat other stuff way better than you treat the rest of your body, your clothes, your shoes, everything way better than your hair, and then y'all wonder why y'all don't have none. Then you wonder why it's not growing. You treat it like shit. Your hair is alive. It's for real. Your body is living, moving, breathing. Your follicle opens and closes. How can something that has the ability to open and close be completely non-existent of life? That makes no sense. It wouldn't be able to respond to hot and cold temperatures. But you leave it alone. You don't touch it. You don't pay any attention to it. Nothing. Any advice to take care of dreadlocks? I recommended my husband a clarifying shampoo to remove excess buildup. I mean, at the end of the day, all you can really do with locks is keep the scalp clean. The only thing, remember, okay, the only thing that your husband has on his head when it pertains to locks, like I said, the average person loses 55 to 50 to 100 strands every day. When you have locks, you hold on to every single strand that falls out. Every last one, you don't let it fall. Thus the word lock. You lock all of the shed hair into one lock and you hold on to it for the rest of your life or until you decide to cut it off. So the only thing your husband can do really is just keep his scalp clean so the sebum can flow out naturally. There's nothing extra to do. And that's why people with dreadlocks have hair to their ass, because they're not doing all of that stuff. People with dreads ain't greasing their scalp with blue magic all the time. And the ones that do are the ones that you see with massive bald spots in their dreads. Because when the longer you have locks, the heavier they get, because all locks is an accumulation of all of the hair that's supposed to fall out. So the longer you have them, the heavier they're going to get. And if your follicle is always greased with oil, if your follicle is always full, the oxygen flow is cut off, which means that the hair shaft is going to be weaker and weaker and weaker and weaker. And it's heavy. So over time, it goes from 4 strands per follicle to 3 to 2 to 1 until the point where it's only 1 strand in that follicle holding on to years. Hundreds and thousands of strands of hair are being held onto by one lock. That is the makeup of locks. So the only thing that you need to do to keep your locks healthy is to keep your scalp clean, and do not let your husband pack his scalp full of oils and butters and grease, because the first thing that's going to happen, the older your husband gets, he's going to start to notice his hair thinning out, and eventually he's going to have to cut those dreads off. So be very, very cautious of that. Ever since I learned about sebum production, I've been combing my hair every day. Thank you. And this is the thing. You wash your ass every day. Not you, boo. No, I ain't talking to you. I'm just saying in general. You wash your ass every day. You brush your teeth every day. Literally, and this is the thing. Black women are the only women on this planet who don't see why their hair ain't growing. You will wash your whole ass 2-3 times a day and wash your hair once every 3 months. Hell no, your hair ain't growing. You don't wash it. You wash your ass, but not your hair. And you think, did you know that some of the same urine that comes out of your cootie pop or out of your pee hole, whatever, comes out of your scalp too? Did you know that? Urine comes out of your hair follicle. Yeast comes out of your hair follicle. Y'all want to know what F y'all up? Co-washing. If y'all do the timeline, between when co-washing started and today, the time frame, you will see before co-washing, there were not nearly as many Black women with dandruff and seborrheic dermatitis. Because y'all not cleansing any bacteria off y'all scalp. Y'all just letting it build up. Y'all think that dirt makes y'all hair grow. But women with the longest hair washing their hair like every day sometimes. And we don't, like, it is so simple. I definitely need some stress relieving tips. Where do I sign up? When this video is over, I'm gonna leave a link to my group in the description box. I'm gonna show you the group in a second. This is where I want everybody to meet me from now on. Hold on, I'm gonna show y'all this group, and then I'm going to answer the rest of y'all questions. But after this live, because listen, the reason I'm going live today is because I have a lot of stuff to get to. No bad stuff. I just have a lot of stuff to get to. But within the group, though, we are talking on a regular. So I want you guys to go ahead and join this group. It's for free. And real quick, when y'all head over to my groups, right? If it's not a free group that you can just enter, then it's a paid one. So if it's like the 7-day challenge group, you have to have taken the 7-day challenge, you guys, to get into that group. If it is the group for the hair growth cycle blueprint, I'm not just gonna let you in that group. It'll be declined because you have to have paid for the class to be in the group, right? But if you are within, if you want to go ahead and get in my free group, it'll be this one. Hold on. Now I have to share this screen. Oh my God. I'm gonna share this screen 2.5 seconds, and I'm gonna answer everybody's questions, and then we get off of here. My intention was only to answer a couple questions, just to give y'all a little sample, but I'm gonna answer y'all questions, and then we're gonna get off of here. But I'm going to leave a link for this group. I just want to make sure we're on the screen. Okay, yeah. I'm going to leave a link for this group in the description box below, right? But within this group, I'm leaving updates for the lives and everything, and you guys can ask all of your questions in here and get them answered in detail. Sorry, my computer didn't do it. I think I got too much stuff around at one time. So you can head to ask. It's very, very simplistic. I went back to the top so stuff can load up. But we have so many different things coming, and here within this group is the group that I let everybody know everything before things go active. So for example, when it comes to any new release, any new herbal release or anything that I have, it is going to be here within this group first. You'll know about it within the group first. Ask all of your questions. If you have any video requests, you can make those requests here, right? If you want to ask questions and you want me to make a video specifically for it, right? You are in this group and you can ask a question. Sometimes, like for example, within here, sometimes I just go ahead and I'll just answer the question like right here, right? But then other times it'll take a little more. Like I may just do a full live broadcast to answer a question for you, right? Or I'll make a full YouTube video, like one of the YouTube videos that are coming later in the week, right? So these are some of the conversations that we have. I just ask you like, hey, let me know your needs. Let me know what questions you have. And so this one in general, somebody asked about my rose water and locks and how to use them. And so it was a video for them, right? So things like that. I really want you guys to pay attention to that. We have different topics, POS, so many different things, right? So I want you guys to make sure that when this video is over, you head over to the description box and go ahead and join this group. It is free. It is my herbal group. The 7-day challenge group, you can join, but only if you do the paid 7-day challenge first, because it's going to ask you a couple of questions. And if your answer is that you haven't paid, girl, I'm not letting you in the group, girl. So, and then don't just say you paid if you didn't, because when you say you paid, it's gonna automatically like try to find your payment in the system, and if it doesn't, it's automatically not gonna let you in. All right, so I want everybody to keep that in mind. All right, let's get back to everything. Okay, dreadlocks. Next up, I big chopped in 2015 and quit the natural community 100 steps to long hair in 2017 because baby, the build up, the breakouts was not it at all. Yeah, products do not give you healthy hair. Ever since I learned about, I already, okay. Some stress relieving tips. Oh, yes. The next video. So everybody make sure they post notifications are on. Because I have videos coming for everything y'all talking about. Won't washing hair every day give you hydro fatigue because you said no. This is the thing. I'm not being rude. Whenever somebody tells you something, I need you to go do your research. Don't just take my word for it without doing research. And I'm not being rude, but if you would have done your research, you would have known what I meant by that. When we're talking about hydro fatigue, we're talking about women who, and please don't say y'all don't do it because it's all over social media still. I'm talking about women who walk around with wet hair all day. Women who are wetting their hair on a regular basis. Not to mention hydro fatigue in a woman with curly hair and hydro fatigue on a woman with straight hair are two completely different things. They're two completely different things. Your follicles are constructed differently. Sebum is released differently out of a follicle that's constructed differently. The hair strand within the inner workings of the hair strand have less protein in it, so it doesn't curl up. The hydrogen bond doesn't do the same thing in straight hair that it does in curly hair. It's two completely different things. And wetting your hair and then setting the bond immediately is different from just washing your hair and walking around with wet hair, letting it dry whenever it dries. It's different. It's not the same thing. That is why, and I'm not being rude, but for everybody, I'm not here to be a storybook for you. I am here to tell you nuggets, drop a gem so you can go do more research for yourself. Don't think that you're ever going to find the whole full picture for one thing that comes out of my mouth. You are a complex being. Your body is a city. You will not understand everything about your body from one thing that comes out of my mouth. You have to do your research. You can't listen to one thing that comes out of my mouth and say, you said this one day, but then you said this another day. That don't make sense. It does if you go do your research. The first time that I said hydro fatigue, the first thing you should have done was, what is hydro fatigue? What causes hydro fatigue? What people get hydro fatigue most often? What routines and patterns cause hydro fatigue? Ask questions that get answers that you can compact into data. So then you're able to get to solutions. But just saying, oh, she said hydro fatigue. If your hair getting wet, you're gonna get hydro fatigue. No, that's not what I said. That's not what I said. But if you, like I said, if you go back in and you do your research and you like, what is hydro fatigue? How is hydro fatigue caused? What type of wetting the hair? How does wetting the hair cause hydro fatigue? Then you'll be able to come to that conclusion yourself. You won't need me to explain this to you. All right. So because you said every day the women with healthy hair washes their hair every day or every week. They wash their hair and then they blow dry it. They break the bond and then they set it. Hydro fatigue happens when you wet the hair and then you let it air dry. When you break the bond and then you let it dry at its own rate. Why? Because you have 100,000 follicles and every follicle is independent. Hydro fatigue happens within the follicle, not on the hair shaft. It happens within the follicle. It's not the same thing. Women who walk around with wet hair, they keep their follicle wet on the scalp all day. When you walk around with wet hair, your ends are dry, but your follicle is wet all day. That is where hydro fatigue is caused. Not from a person shampooing their hair every day, but from a person that believes that blow dryers are the devil, so they wet their hair and then they let it air dry. that is a person who's getting hydro fatigue from washing their hair every day. Not somebody who breaks the bond and then within 15 to 20 minutes, the bond is set again. That doesn't give hydro fatigue. It doesn't. Okay? Like, that's why I need y'all to like link things together. Don't just take one thing that I say and like, but you said no. No. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. And I'm not talking to you, but I know it's going to be at least one sensitive Nancy or one grandchild that's on here. Like, don't talk to us like that. If you're sensitive, don't be in here, because I cannot mince words. I have been saying the same thing for over a decade. So I'm not going to be like, hi guys, just do this. No, we need common sense. I need to trigger these things. I need you to feel something when I'm talking. If I'm just like, yeah, all you have to do is do this, you're not going to feel anything. I need you to feel something, because if you feel something, the next time you do it, you're going to think about it. Whether you agree with me or not, you're going to think about it the next time you do it. And then if you get the same result, one day you're going to be like, you know what? She be getting on my nerves, but let me try it. That's all I care about. I don't need you to like me. I got a husband. He liked me a lot. That's all I really need. I'm not here for that. When people experience balding, do they leave sebum in that area? Nope, sure don't. Most bald people head be shiny than a motherfucker. I mean, I didn't mean to cuss. Shiny than a mug, my bad. See, I'm getting it. You have to be looking through a microscope to identify phases. Yes, thank you. You have to be looking through a microscope to identify the hair, the phase that you're in. Oh my God. So I was definitely wrong about the hair growth cycle, just like every single hair strand has its own way. So I guess that means I need to do more research. Absolutely. Yep. Yes, ma'am. Guru status. That's what I'm talking about, Empress. Guru status. You almost there. You got it. Now you just need to learn how to track it within yourself. Peep game. This is easy not easy, but it'll be a starting point for you. This is not your answer. This is a starting point, okay? For everybody. The average hair growth cycle is anywhere between 2 to 7 years, right? So if you go ahead, you can do this in two ways. You can do it for 2 years, and then you can do it for 7 years. Do two different lists, right? The first list will be for 7 years. So it'll be easier for you to be able to map out your hair growth cycle if you go, okay, from the day you were born, every 7 years is a hair growth cycle, is a full hair growth cycle, from the anagen phase to the estrogen phase, every 7 years. So if you 7 years old, you've had one hair growth cycle. So when you turn 8, that's a brand new year. So then you at the beginning of your anagen phase again. Do you understand what I mean? Even though all of those follicles are independent, the majority of it will be, the majority of them will be in this phase for you to get it with the naked eye without a microscope. Again, this will not be exact. The only way you can know it exactly what phase the majority of your follicles are in is with a microscope. But you can get a hypothesis, which is an educated guess. Right? You can get a hypothesis by, if, for example, if you 30 years old, right? Go from age 7, then again, up until you get to your current age. That's how many hair growth cycles you've had, right? So let's say you get to one where you in the you've had like 3 hair growth cycles, and then you like a year into that next 4th hair growth cycle. Then you can get a roundabout estimate on where you at, on where your hair growth cycle is at. That is how you track it. There will be nothing about your hair that you can determine by just looking at it with the naked eye. I don't care what anybody says. And anybody who tells you, oh, feel it and then cut it. Oh, look at it, and then they don't know what they're talking about. They don't know what they're talking about. There will be no dermatologist or nobody that's just going to be like, oh, yeah. Now, maybe with scalp inflammation, seborrheic dermatitis, dandruff, scalp psoriasis, all of that looks the same visually. You can tell. Absolutely. But the anagen phase, the hair growth cycle, no, you won't be able to tell. Can we repair the salt bond? No, you cannot. Your hair shaft is not like the rest of your body. It's not like your skin. Once you break a bond, it cannot be put back together. That's just like the disulfide bond. The disulfide bond is the bond that determines how straight or how curly your hair is. Once the bond is broken, you cannot put it back together. It's a permanent bond. It's a permanent bond. Okay? It's a permanent bond. So once you get a relaxer, you permanently break that bond. I mean, well, you permanently not break it. You permanently rearrange that bond. You cannot go back and unrearrange it. It don't work like that. That's why if your hair shaft is not a regenerative source like your skin is, you cut your skin, you'll be able to heal up. But your hair shaft is like your nails. If you break a nail, a natural nail, I don't care how much glue you put on it. When that glue wears off, the nail is going to break. And eventually, with glue or no glue, eventually it's going to die all across and fall off. Your hair shaft is the same exact way. There's no repairing it. That's why cosmetologists, people are like, hairstylists hate you. They think that cosmetologists go to school for 2 years and get all of that debt just because they don't like you and they want to cut your hair off. No, the reason that hairstylists say that you need to make sure you're getting a trim every 10 weeks is because if a end splits, there is no fixing it. And it's going to keep splitting up the hair shaft. And once it gets to the root, it's going to split within the follicle. And once it splits within the follicle, you then get a certain form of alopecia, which is because your hair follicle splits within the follicle, detaching it from the blood supply, which pushes your hair shaft into the canogen phase of the hair growth cycle, which is the phase of the hair growth cycle where your hair shaft is detaching itself from the blood supply. And I know it sounds like a lot of information, but this is why I tell y'all, you can't just learn, the anagen phase of the hair growth cycle, and then you know everything that there is to know. No, everything is linked and connected together. Stop taking, if you come across a video and they say, all you got to do is this and your hair grow back, they a clown and they trying to play you. I don't care, period. You will never hear a doctor, any professional, nobody say, just do this and everything will be okay. No, they're going to give you, for example, if you have dandruff, like one of the comments I read earlier, she didn't listen to her dermatologist because the dermatologist gave her a shampoo. Every woman that books a consultation with me that went to a dermatologist says the same exact words, word for word, verbatim. They went to see this dermatologist. The dermatologist was not Black. And they told them the shampoo that they gave them made their hair dry. Dandruff is an overproduction of oil. The only way that you can dry out an overproduction of oil, the only way you can get rid of an overproduction of oil is to dry out the follicle. You have to dry it out. You have to kill the bacteria and dry it out. So yes, you're going to notice flakes. While all of that excess dead skin falls off, it's going to look flaky. That's why the dermatologist tells you to keep following this regimen for a couple of months. And at the end of those 2 months, you'll be good. But we don't trust the professionals. And you find yourself walking around the same mountain over and over again because you putting oil on your scalp to kill an overproduction of oil. Oh my God. Yes, I can definitely confirm that from the roots to the mid shaft, my hair is definitely healthy. And I also remember back then I wasn't doing the same routine to trim my ends at all. Absolutely. So all of the hair that you seeing that's thinner is your old, dead, dusty hair. Those are your dusty ends that you don't want to let go of. And it's okay. You don't have to until you're ready. But just understand that the longer you hold on to that dead hair, the more at risk you put your new hair. Because hair does not stop splitting. I'm about to show you a demonstration. Hold on. Hold on, player. So for sure, we know this paper is definitely stronger than one of your hair strands. This paper is definitely stronger than just one of your hair strands, right? So picture this. We got a split right here, right? It's just one little split. So imagine that this is your hair strand. Imagine that this is your hair strand, right? And this is your ends. So these are your ends right here, right? So you can hold on to the hair that's up here, because the hair that's up here is fine. All of this hair, it don't have no splits or nothing in it. And you can just hold on and grow your hair out, and then it's not going to affect it. But guess what? The more tension you put on it, the split is going to keep going. So just imagine you hold on to those split ends for, let's say, 6 months. Okay, you hold on to them for the next 6 months, and then one day you like, I'm gonna cut it slowly. But throughout those 6 months, you washing your hair every day. I mean, you washing your hair on a regular basis. You blow drying your hair, you combing it, you brushing it, you doing all this mechanical damage for 6 months. For 6 months, right? You just don't keep for 6 months. The paper broke. Yeah, the tear wasn't at the top. It wasn't at the top. It was at the bottom. But the longer you manipulate hair that has a rip, eventually the fiber is going to split and break off. This is why women who do the team natural thing, who never touch their hair, who never trim their hair, the second you put a blow dryer to it, the second you pick up a brush, a comb, all your hair is falling out. All your hair is breaking. It's because it is weak. Let's do it again. So look, the rip is here right now, but the longer you go, and of course, remember, this is over 6 months. This 6 months. 6 months. The longer you go, the longer the split gets. Y'all get it. Y'all saw me rip the first one. You get it. That's all. That's it. That's all. It doesn't work like that. It don't work like that. Okay? I really want y'all to get in the habit of making sure that you trimming your hair on a regular basis. It's not because hairstylists are, oh, I want you to be bald. I don't like it when women have hair. Like, no, that's not it. That's not it. It's trying to prevent you from losing all of your hair. Like, it's just as simple as that, because women who have hair today but are getting their hair trimmed every 8 to 10 weeks like clockwork. I don't care what nobody say. I did hair for over a decade, and I would be the only Black girl in the whole building. Women from other races, they will come in with wet hair and leave with wet hair just for a trim. Just for a freaking trim. They literally come to get their hair cut. Women of other races go to the shop to get trims more than they go to the shop to get their actual hair done. It is a fact. I don't care what nobody talking about. My people are the only ones that are like, hairstylists only cutting your hair because they jealous. You are not supposed to trim your hair. Like, we're the only ones. The only ones. It is a fact. I don't care what nobody say. I've spent the majority of my career being the only Black girl in a building full of 20, 30 stylists. It'd be maybe like one other Black girl in the whole building. Maybe. They clients walk in just for trims, nothing else. And it does not prevent them from growing long hair. They be having hair to their ass. They will not miss a trim. I know it for a fact. You got it, boo. And listen, I feel like the world try to make women feel like once they hit menopause, it's like, I feel like it's just a factory reset. It's like phase 2, boo. But people try to make it seem like once you hit your 40s and your 50s, that's it. No, my guy, like, my husband's auntie is 103 years old. So if you're 40, you're not even halfway to where you've literally only lived half of your life if you're 40. You've only lived half of your life when you're 40. We should not be going bald at 40 and 50. We should not be thinning at 40 and 50. If you can make it to be 103 years old, that means you're going to spend half of your life bald head as hell? No, something's wrong. There's something that we're doing. It's something that we eat, and there's something that we're doing wrong. All right? Like, you good. My 11-year-old has developed this bumps after my oldest cut his hair last time. It's just bacteria. Hi, Whitney. I feel like I haven't seen you in a while. You're so beautiful. Hey, boo. Just look at her. Just, girl. If I ain't never seen nothing more beautiful than a black woman in my life. Hey, Whitney, girl. Just like doctors are not in the business of curing patients that wouldn't have jobs. Some doctors, yeah, I can, but never mind. You would know more than me. You a nurse. Let me shut up. I have nothing to say. Y'all, what you said. Yes, there it is, right there. Please, everybody, do me a favor. Please watch this. Fantastic fungi. Oh my God. Thank you. Oh, I love you. Thank you, Susie. Thank you. Cyn Doll, can you give me a daily, weekly, monthly maintenance routine for C? If you take the 7-day challenge, I can. I can't just give it to you on here because that's literally what the 7-day challenge is. But if you take the 7-day challenge, it'll give you one. It'll help teach you how to reset everything. These companies are the ones who pay the law. Yeah, yeah. Man, y'all better. Hey, boo. They regulate because money makes the world go round. Money talks, BS walks. The Matrix. Girl, you better say that shit. You better say that shit louder for the people in the back. Don't get mad at me when I say this. If you are OG to my channel, can you say what I'm about to say? And I'm going to scroll down and see how many people know. If you don't co-wash your ass, you shouldn't be co-washing your hair. I hate co-washing with a passion. It annoys my soul. You cannot cleanse anything with conditioner. Conditioner is nothing but wax and oil and sometimes butter. You can't, like, what? No. I think co-washing is stupid. I think wash and goes are dumb. I do not like wash and goes at all. Like, we love, this is my opinion, and then that's all I'm saying. I just like giving examples of the reason that I think the way that I think, just in case grandchildren are in the room. We love following other people's cultures, but we refuse to follow our own. We will follow Ayurvedic herbs. You follow in their culture. You follow in rice water. That's Asian culture. You follow everybody's culture but yours. Find me a picture of your ancestors doing wash and goes. Find me one. It did not exist. It's bullshit. I ain't talking to you. I'm just saying. Our ancestors were magnificent. That's where all of the braids and all of, like, they were not washing and going nothing. Their styles were magnificent. Even some in African tribes that are still around right now, they make hair care a full day. Not because they washing it, not because they sitting products in it, but because their braided styles are so intricate to stretch the hair. They do not do wash and goes. Find me a tribe. No, they all have different braided hairstyles, threading. They all do different forms of stretching their hair. They do not do wash and goes. Doing a wash and go is the quickest way to get your hair tangled. You got mechanical damage every day, because if you do a wash and go, Monday morning and Tuesday morning, you're gonna have to wash it before you go again. A wash and go ain't lasting a couple of days. You're doing that every day. Hydro fatigue. That's where hydro fatigue comes from. People who just washing and going. That's how you get hydro fatigue. Because you wet the hair and then you just walk around with a wet follicle all day. Just because your hair is dry does not mean the roots are dry and the follicle is dry. And most women who do wash and goes have wet hair. And even moreover, let's say you sit under a dryer. Okay. A lot of people won't like what I have to say, but you have to understand that you're asking a licensed cosmetologist. I don't do not unstyled hair. I am a cosmetologist, aka a hairstylist. That's literally what I do. Seeing a woman who does not comb her hair, seeing that, like, to me, doing a wash and go is laziness. I'm just being honest. You asked. Wash and goes is pure laziness. I'm just being honest. If you washing and going, that's because you didn't want to take the time to sit down, style your hair. There's nothing good comes out of just wetting your hair, putting products in it, and sitting under a dryer and then walking outside. I think it's complete laziness, and I think it's one of the main reasons that the majority of women have seborrheic dermatitis, dandruff, scalp psoriasis, and all of these different forms of alopecia, because not only do you not style your hair, right? You don't take the time to style it, to dry it, to blow dry it, to comb it. You don't do none of that. And then on top of that, you only washing it every blue moon. You putting a crap load of products in it to make your wash and go look like something. And then you only washing your hair once every 3 weeks, and when you do, you use a co-wash. If there's one thing that if God was like, what is one thing that you could take away from the natural community, or that you could take away from naturals, it would be wash and go. I can't stand it. It's pure laziness. They gave laziness a name, and everybody stuck with it. Wash and go. Like, wash and go, pick up a comb. Leave-in does what to the bottom. It just helps you set the hydrogen bond, and it protects the hair from like the blow dryer, from environmental damage while you out, from heat from the sun while you out, from environmental pollutions while you're out, and different stuff like that until your next wash day. Thank you for correcting me. I thought that apple cider vinegar alters. No, it does not. That is a freaking myth that people keep spreading. It makes my skin crawl. So it's not you. I'm not you, but I hate it so much. And I've been like, y'all, if y'all OGs to my channel, I've been telling y'all not to use rice water, apple cider vinegar for the last 6-7 years. I'm tired. So some people say water is first ingredients. Right now, I'm using fortified serum name leave-in. Also acts as the protective shield. I mean, I've never heard of it, but that's what you mean to do. But no, I don't know porosity. Yep, so you got to figure out what your porosity is, or have certain ingredients. But yep, you have to before you touch a product, you need to learn your hair. You and anybody else like you, don't buy anything. You don't even know what your porosity is. Porosity is your hair's ability to absorb or release moisture. You don't even know how your hair absorbs moisture. You don't know if you have a shut follicle that's hard to get stuff in, or a wide open cuticle that lets everything in that's hard to shut. You have no idea what type of hair shaft you have, which means you cannot pick products. Because if you buy products for high porosity hair, you have low porosity hair, you'll damage your hair, and vice versa. So that's what I mean. Rice nipple juice, I hate it. Muscle atrophy, thank you for that. Apple cider vinegar internally. Yes, it's fine. You know why? Because your body has a digestive tract. Your scalp don't have no digestive tract. Whatever you put on there is in full effect. In full effect. When you take it within the body, your body has a digestive tract. It has enzymes that are able to break down everything that you ingest and send it to different parts of the body. But did you know that ingesting too much apple cider vinegar in the body can be detrimental to your organs? But y'all putting it in your hair all the time. But if you drink it too much, it can mess up the inside of your body. But you think you can put it on your hair and leave it there? Y'all, come on. Y'all got to stop being so, like, I'm feeling like it's only safe to use simple shampoos and conditioner stuff because a lot of these black brands are making rice water conditioners and stuff. No, it's safe to learn the science of hair and learn that if you see a brand that has a rice water conditioner, don't mess with them. because they don't got nothing to do with the science of hair. It's about fads. Joyco, you ain't gonna never see them with rice water or apple cider vinegar. Nothing. Kimra, you ain't gonna never see them with no rice water, nothing. Biolodge, you ain't gonna see them with no rice water, nothing. Redken, you're not gonna see it. You know why? These are professional products made by professionals. Olaplex, you ain't gonna see Olaplex with no rice water, nothing. But will they dip into some herbs? Hell yeah. In Olaplex number 9, which you get for free when you use my codes. The link will be in the description box below. Yeah. But when you use Olaplex, they have red algae that they use in Olaplex 9, but it's an extract. They're not putting pure rice water in the hair. They're not doing that. And you'll never see Olaplex get into no, oh, rice water, oh, apple cider vinegar. The brands that y'all see do that are the ones that's pandering you. You want to know what brands are pandering you? Look at the brands that's making products that match the shit that y'all see on YouTube. Those are the brands that are pandering to you. It's simple. Follow the brands that's following the YouTubers, and you can find the scammers. Like, I'm sorry, and if somebody feel away, you just feel away. Black women do think our hair grows. I just watched videos here on YouTube. University of Black Women actually bust myth about Black people not washing their hair every day because it's supposed to be damaging. But I'm not being disrespectful, but most of y'all here, right? Most of the people listening to the sound of my voice thinks that washing your hair is damaging. And that's why y'all hair won't grow, because y'all don't wash it. Y'all hair won't grow because y'all won't wash it. Y'all hair is dry because you don't comb it. Oh my, it is so simplistic. That's why sometimes it's irritating. Your hair is dry because you don't comb it. Every woman that says she got dry hair, for every woman listening to me and you say your hair is dry, how often do you shampoo your hair? What do you put on your scalp? And how often do you comb your hair? And is your hair in the state that makes it able to be combed without it being broken off? And do you actually give your hair routines and patterns, or do you just sit it there until the next wash day? These are all questions that you need to ask. You good, baby. I'm gonna drop things in a minute. It's blurry. I'm sorry. For a couple months now, with all the knowledge, when I see my husband trying to wet his hair or putting oil and grease his hair, I'm like, yo, what are you doing? It's gonna block follicles. But you need to, because we do it like, listen, if you ask me why you're not supposed to oil the scalp, I'm gonna tell you why, and I'm gonna give you scientific proof. But if you ask the person who says that you gotta grease the scalp, why they supposed to grease the scalp, the only thing they gonna say is, oh, Black women's hair don't produce oil. And then you can say that's not true. It does in the thing called the sebaceous gland. Oh, where the hair is curly so it can't travel down the hair shaft. Well, all you gotta do is comb it. Like, what are we talking about? It's over. But a person who says Black women don't produce oil, they cannot give you any scientific proof. Listen, if somebody who tell me that Black women don't have to comb their hair or that oil ain't produced out the scalp, if I didn't have it coming out of my own follicle, too much of it, then I would believe it if they gave me some evidence. There is no valid research, no valid points that any woman who says that Black women need to grease their scalp can give you. The only thing that they can give you is emotion. My auntie used to do it. My grandma used to do it. I've been doing it all this time, and ain't nothing bad happened yet. Nothing is broken until it breaks, baby. Nothing is broken until it breaks. So again, for every person who says that, when anything that comes out of my mouth, I can give you valid reasoning that you can go research for yourself without me. You can go walk in any dermatologist, in any office of any dermatologist, and ask them, does anybody, forget Black women, stop saying that. The only difference between the scalp of a black woman and a white woman is the amount, I mean, the size of the follicle. That is it. She got the same sebaceous glands that you got. Her oil glands are in the same places that yours are in. Her sweat glands are in the same places that yours are in. The only difference between your scalp and a woman with naturally straight hair, with naturally wavy hair, a woman of any race, is the size of the follicle and the amount of protein within the hair shaft. That is it. But the rate in which oil is produced is the same. But because your hair comes out curly and hers comes out straight, it's not really that hard for her to comb her hair. It's not brain science, rocket science. Like, combing it is easy for her because all she got to do is blow dry it like regular and everything's gonna be fine. Versus somebody with curlier hair, your hair has to be stretched. That's why your ancestors always had their hair stretched. They did threading, they did braids, but they weren't doing wash and goes. They weren't just walking around with curly hair. They were not. They were not. They were not, baby. The Egyptians, well, in Kemet, because Egypt is a word made by Greeks after they conquered Egypt from the people who were already there, the Persians, if I'm not mistaken. So Egypt was changed. The word Egypt was turned. It was called Egypt by Greeks. It was called Kemet first, and they were not doing wash and goes. The pictures on the artifacts of them on the I can't talk, on the pyramids and stuff like that, none of them had wash and goes. Not a one. They all had intricate styles. Nobody was doing wash and goes. They took time in their hair. They knew how worthy they were. So they wasn't treating themselves like nothing. You treating yourself like nothing if all you doing is shampooing your hair, blow drying it, putting it in full braids, and putting the wig on. And leaving it like that for 3 weeks. Mm-hmm. The only reason this is on my hair right now is because today is wash day. I'm washing my hair today. And then after I wash my hair, I am going to do something to it. It's not just going to be sitting on my head. Yes, our body is the city. Remember Osmosis Jones. It's like that. It's just like that. Osmosis Jones, yeah, it was a cartoon, but our bodies are just like that. I swear to God. Swear to God. I wish I could play that one video. Hold on, let me see if I can. Educated guess equals hypothesis. Exactly. Trichologist studies the hair scalp. The rooming. Mm-hmm. I also noticed that when I'm washing my little one's hair every 2 days instead of once a week, her hair right now is at its best. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because her follicles, this her first hair growth cycle. So whatever you doing to your daughter's hair right now is setting her cycle for the rest of her life. That's why a lot of women have messed up hair growth cycles. Like if your baby 1 year old and you put in tight braids and tight ponytails in their hair, you're messing up her hair growth cycle. This her first time. Your baby's first hair growth cycle is not complete until they turn 7. Well, 8. Her scalp is way more healthy and she doesn't have excess buildup. It's so simple, y'all. All we have to do is wash and comb our hair. Like, it's crazy how complicated it's been made. What are fairy knots? Fairy knots is split ends. Fairy knots is another word made up by YouTube. And I have a whole video on it. It's actually a scientific word for it. Fairy knots is a disorder. Hold on, I'm gonna show you in a second. Before I leave, hold on. I can show you right now. Hold on, bro. I just had it on the screen. I don't have my glasses. Oh, here it is. This is the fairy knot. This is the fairy knot under an electron microscope. It is literally when your hair is in a knot. And this happens when you don't comb your hair. Because the average person loses 55 to 100 strands a day. So if you're a person who doesn't use combs and brushes and all you do is finger detangle, what happens is those hairs, they get caught up on each other and they make knots. The same way if you had a whole bunch of shoestrings just hanging down from a hanger, after a while they're going to get knotted up together. This is what single strand knots are. This is what they look like. That is a single strand knot, my love. That is a single strand knot. This is what happens when you do not comb your hair. After a while, the hair that's supposed to shed, it gets knotted up on top of each other. And then after it gets knotted up on top of each other, like there's nothing to do. And then you scared of combs and brushes because those are the devil, not you. But people are scared of combs and brushes, so you're not combing it, and it's all just in there. It knots up together. That's all a single strand knot is. Yes, Olaplex repairs all three bonds. But if they're too far gone, then no. Like for example, if you have a relaxer, don't think you can use Olaplex and it's gonna curl up again. No, it don't work like that. It really works in prevention, and it can help to repair things if it's not too far gone. But it's not like, please know that if your hair is like messed up, it's not just gonna fix it like that. Like Olaplex fixes it right before it gets to that point. But there is a certain thing, a certain place where it don't matter what you do. If you damage your hair to a certain point, there's nothing that Olaplex can do. And let's know, Olaplex does not rebind or reconnect split ends. It does not work like that. When we're talking about bonds, we are talking about the inner cortex of the hair shaft. So it's something completely different. It's a good idea to use oil meant for the hair shaft on locks. I mean, I mean, yeah, but you don't really need it. Like you don't really need it. Like if your scalp is clean, just because you have locks doesn't mean that sebum isn't coming out. So I mean, unless your hair is dry. Oh my God, thank you so much, Tim. I so understand the paper concept. I'm gonna make sure that I trim those ends on a regular basis. Yes, ma'am. Because if you don't, it's gonna split all the way up the hair shaft. My menopause started in my late 20s. See, that could be a lot to do with your diet. It's not a good thing that it started in your 20s, but it can mean normally when it starts in your 20s, it's because it's something that you're doing that's throwing your stuff off balance. And if you stop doing that thing, you could reverse it. Both my grannies were 98 and 100 when they passed. They had a head full of hair and it was long too. So if you in your 40s and your 50s and your hair is falling out, there's something wrong. It's either on the inside, something you eating with your diet, or your hair practices are wrong. It's not normal to be balding in your 40s and 50s, but it happens to the majority of black women because the majority of black women have blocked follicles. It's a fact. I also confirmed that back then, before I knew your channel, I was following Team Natural until I noticed that why do I need all of these products on wash day? And this is the thing. I'm not calling nobody stupid, but I am. Can you please explain to me why I need to add 7 products to my head before I wash it off? That is it's so dumb. It's so dumb. Nobody has ever been in a hair salon and seen a professional hairstylist use 7, 8 products on your head. It's never happened. I know for a fact because we got to pay for those out of our own pocket. I love you, bro. But after doing all those long routines, I found that my hair was still dry, and that made me mad. But now I could see that. And listen, they knew that your hair would still be dry. Of course, it's still gonna be dry. You're blocking the. If you have 4 layers, if you have 3 different layers of product on your hair shaft, as soon as you wash it, so as soon as you wash it, you rinse the conditioner out, and then you put 4 more layers of product on. Can you explain to me when the sebum can touch your hair shaft? The one thing, first of all, sebum is not an oily substance, it's a waxy substance. And it is meant to put a barrier of protection over the hair shaft to stop it from breaking so easily. The reason that most women with curly hair breaks so easily is because the sebum isn't on it to protect it. And guess what? Women who comb their hair on a regular basis do not have that problem. There are a group of Black women who do not have this problem, who have hair to their butts with healthy scalps, whose hair grows at a normal rate. And guess what? They don't grease their scalps. And all they do is use shampoo, conditioner, and a leave-in conditioner when they blow dry, and a heat protected if they flat iron, and that's it. You ask a woman with hair to her butt, I guarantee you she don't do all this Team Natural bullshit. She don't do it. Oh, thank you, beautiful. My eyes just came into focus. You are so pretty. You guys are some beautiful women. I remember my dad used to call me Bang because he was like, why are all your friends so pretty? I was like, it's funny looking women and me just don't get along. They be mad at me because they look. That was rude. My bad. Well, if it's the truth, then how do women get their hair to grow and retain length when co-washing is something thick? Listen, just because somebody's hair is long does not mean it's healthy. Why do y'all think that length equates to health? Just because somebody's hair is long doesn't mean that it's healthy. And most of the women that told y'all to do co-washing don't do co-washing anymore. They all have hairstylists now. I know it for a fact because I've seen it. The people who started, the girl who first made a co-washing video goes to a hairstylist every 2 weeks now. And the hairstylist uses a real shampoo and conditioner with sulfates. Hey, what are we talking about? They're playing with you. That just because somebody's hair is long does not mean it's healthy. I did hair for over a decade, and y'all can't see the videos now because they're private. But my old hair videos, most of the women will come in like, I ain't had my hair straightened in 6 years. You about to be, this the first time it's been straightened in 6 years. And they like, look how long it is. And then they'll stretch it out and it be to their hips. But then once they see it on top of a white cake, it's really about this long. And down, all the way down to the hair shaft. So about this whole time, they didn't grow about 12, 13 inches of hair that is completely see-through. If you put those ends in a ponytail, it won't even make one thick braid. Length means nothing. Again, if y'all stop paying attention to vanity metrics, y'all get it. Length means nothing. You miss my mama. Yes, that's true for a lot of healthy brand products. We're about to end after I finish these questions. Yes, free Olaplex in a second, but y'all gotta wait. I'm about to tell you in 2.5 seconds. Listen to me. Co-wash equals build up, and fairy knots are all down every strand of your hair, which will cause breakage. Like, oh, it's so, oh my God. If you listen, every word that's been made up that ain't regular shit, like co-washing, fairy knots, pre-poo, all of that shit that's what got y'all messed up. All of that. All of the little pre-poo, pre-makeup, like what? Pre-poo, what are you talking about? Detangling? You're detangling before you shampoo? That's something that hairstylists have been doing since the beginning of time. It's a fact. That's one of the first things you learn, that if you shampoo hair before you comb it out, the hair is going to break off. And hair is weakest when it's wet and strongest when it's dry. So you comb hair, you detangle hair with oil instead of water so you don't break the bond. What are we talking about? And then the YouTuber, instead of them just saying detangle, they made up the word pre-poo. I call this pre-pooing. It's called detangling, bro. Like, what? I love y'all so much, but it's like, yes, exactly. Exactly. Yes. Peep game. Ooh. Grease is petroleum, which protects, which means blocks. Is used as a barrier in the medical field. But y'all grease y'all scalp with it. She a nurse. In her hospital, they use petroleum to protect and to block stuff. But you want to argue with me that blue magic is good for your hair, and blue magic is colored petroleum and mineral oil. And mineral oil and petroleum are the same thing. Why do naturals want to grease the scalp? Because you're talking about a condition and it's listen. Thank you. I love y'all so much, but y'all are all brainwashed and conditioned. I'm sorry. Basically the definition of condition is for you to have facts in front of you but still argue just because you guys have been conditioned. The teen natural community has conditioned you to believe that the black woman does not produce oil. It has conditioned you to believe that you cannot comb your hair because that's what's breaking your hair off, instead of telling you the truth, which is your hair is weak because your scalp is dirty. Your hair is weak because your follicle is blocked, and the sebum that makes your hair shaft strong can't come out. Black women's hair breaks all the time because it's not coated in sebum. Sebum is a waxy substance that creates a barrier over the hair shaft. But it can never do it because you putting 3-4 layers of product on your hair as soon as you wash it. So the sebum never has a chance to do anything because you putting a bunch of products on your hair. The simplest way to have moisturized hair is to have a clean scalp and combed hair. Comb your hair regularly. If your hair is in braids, make sure before you put the braids in your hair that your hair is properly combed. When your braids are touching your scalp, you don't need to put anything on it. The braids are touching the follicle. The sebum is going to come directly out of the scalp and straight onto the braids. Like, where else does it have to go? Y'all, come on. Like, stop being so conditioned and think for yourself. Think for yourself. And you can answer all of these questions easily. But you do comb your hair. With what though? Do you do it with a wide tooth comb? Like, how often do you comb it? I comb my hair for days. As soon as I stop, it knots again. That means you have split ends. If your hair keeps knotting at the ends, like, picture these two fingers. Imagine these two fingers are the same length. Imagine these two fingers are the same length, right? If this is split right here, what's gonna happen? This is going to wrap around this end. If the end is split, the one end is gonna wrap around the other one, creating a knot. You have split ends. That's all. It's very simple. You cut your split ends, the single strand knots will be there. Yes, it's the same exact thing. There's no space between my forehead and my scalp. It's the same thing. It's the same follicle. Same thing. Does regular hair trimming keep the hair bonds healthy? No. Nope. Is hair manipulation considered hair combing? No. Combing, I love you, babe. Stop. No. With hair care, words are exactly as they sound. There are no trick words. There are no tricks. Combing is with a comb. Brushing is with a brush. Manipulation means manipulation, touching your hair. Like, any form, anytime. Like, this is manipulation. 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 Anytime you touch something, it's being manipulated. You're welcome, gorgeous. A girl who got sued over her products. What girl? All I can say is, all I can say is following your method has my hair growing and wash day is a breeze. Thank you. Thank you for listening to me and making this simplistic. Doing hair is simplistic. Hair maintenance, everyday maintenance at home is simplistic. Washing your hair should be as easy as washing your ass. Brushing your hair should be easier than brushing your teeth. Oh my God. What's my pleasure? It's what I live for. So true, Cyn. I've seen some women having waist length hair with a lot of split ends. Yeah. And listen, do what you want to do. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm not telling you what not to do. I'm just telling you what happens when you do certain things and when you don't do certain things. I'm so confused about my hair, but I'm depressed for it to grow. I'm desperate for it to grow. Sorry. I went from my natural state to relaxed and I'm struggling. I don't know, babe. I need to know way more about you to answer that. I don't know what to say. I'm sorry. I don't know what to say. Back in high school, I had a friend who was always, if you book a one-on-one consultation with me, I got you, but I just don't know, or join the 7-day challenge. I just don't know what to say. I had a friend who was always trimming her ends in class and didn't really understand why, but then I realized her hair wasn't shedding at all. It was growing faster. And it's not that the hair is growing faster. Trimming your hair doesn't make your hair grow faster. It just helps you to retain the length that you grow because your ends aren't splitting. Your hair isn't breaking off. That's why. But trimming your hair itself doesn't make your hair grow. Cutting your hair doesn't send a signal to the follicle, oh, grow more. No, it helps you to maintain length. It helps you to retain the length because if your ends never split, your hair never breaks off. When people go in for trims, women with long hair that get trims, they cutting like fairy dust, like half of an inch, centimeters, not inches. That's why men's hair grows faster and longer because Big Sean, my favorite rapper. Mind your business, he from the D. Big Sean hair has grown longer than every female on YouTube talking about hair growth hacks. And this man don't do nothing but wash his hair, get it blow dried. He he don't air dry. He ain't putting his hair in knots and letting it dry. He goes to a professional who just shampoos his hair, puts regular conditioner in it. She not putting rice nipple juice in Big Sean hair, nothing. Regular shampoo and conditioner. She's blow drying this man's hair, trimming his ends when he needs it, putting braids in his hair, and he is going on about his business. Do you think this man from Detroit is putting grease on his scalp and greasing his scalp with coconut oil every day? No. Men hair grows 10 times faster than women's hair because all they do is wash it and blow dry it. That's it. They're not hanging their head upside down. They're not putting a bunch of products on their hair. They're not doing none of this. Thank you so much, Amber. Oh my freaking God. I think this is my favorite kind. This is my favorite one. They don't add nothing. And she probably got a husband. That's why she's saying it. Or she do men's hair. Men don't add nothing. Peep game. Men's hair grows so fast. Sometimes men are going to get haircuts twice a week. After they get a haircut, what do they do? Nothing. All the barber do after a haircut is wash their hair and cleanse their scalp. The barber don't spray no oil on their scalp. The barber ain't taking a bunch of hot 6 oil and greasing their scalp and putting them up under no dryer to make their hair grow back in a week. No. I used to work across from a barber. They clients coming in every week. And every week he cutting at least 2-3 inches off. That means men are growing 2-3 inches a week. If a man is getting a haircut once a week, and every week he getting 2-3 inches of hair cut off, what do that say? And then a woman, you can't get your hair to grow an inch in a month, but a man is getting at least 2 inches of hair growth a week. Please explain that to me. Please explain that to me. He black too. He came out the same uterus, the same black uterus, the same type of black uterus that you did. How come black men's hair grows, but black women's don't? How come? That forget other races. Let's not even talk about other races. Let's talk about black men and black women. Why is it that a black man can grow 2 inches of hair in a week, but a black woman cannot grow, certain black women cannot grow an inch in a month? Why? If relaxers are so bad, why is it that a woman who has a pixie cut, and I did hair for over a decade, and short hair was one of my specialties. Short hairs and silk presses were my specialty. If women with relaxed hair have unhealthy follicles and their hair is damaged, can you please explain to me why my clients that come in every week have to get over an inch of hair cut off every week if relaxed hair don't grow? It's not a rhetorical question. I really want to answer. Like, it don't make sense. You can't say that definitively if it doesn't make sense across the board. I've had over 47,000 clients to run this data through. It's not true. Mm-hmm. No, you're fine. Following your method, I don't have dry scalp anymore. I was once she has seborrheic dermatitis, and now she doesn't have it anymore. And all she does, babe, can you please do me a favor, beautiful? Y'all are some beautiful women on today. Oh my God, Amber. Like, oh my God, Amber D. Can you please tell them, the people, because I know, but can you please tell the people what your regimen is like? What do you do from the time you wash, from wash day to wash day? What do you do? Her hair wasn't shedding at all. Good stuff. We gonna end in a minute, y'all. Love, I love you so much, but I just need you to take my 7-day challenge. So you spray your hair with water. Why? What is that accomplishing? It's not a rhetorical question. If you're gonna do something to your hair, I need you to tell me why you're doing it and what you're accomplishing. What is you wetting your hair multiple times a day doing? What is it doing for your hair? You wetting it with conditioner and oil in the water. What is it doing to your hair? What are you accomplishing? What is it doing for your hair? I'm not being a smart ass. What do you mean? What are you so? I never said you're not supposed to be doing anything to your hair. I said you're not supposed to be doing everything to your hair. I didn't say don't do anything. I said don't do everything. Wash your hair. Rinse the shampoo out. Put conditioner in. Wait, no. Before you wash your hair, figure out how you're wearing your hair. First, that's the first thing. How are you gonna wear your hair? Are you braiding it? Are you straightening it? What are you doing? What is because washing your hair without knowing what you're doing is like getting in a car to drive without knowing where you're going. You just in a car driving. You have no destination. You just drive. Eventually you're gonna run out of gas. You don't know where you're going. You're just driving. Eventually you're gonna get lost. Okay? So what are you putting the oil in your hair for? The only thing that you need to be doing to your hair, period, shampoo, rinse the shampoo out. Conditioner, rinse the conditioner out. Again, once you figured out what you're going to do. So let's say you decided you're going to braid your hair. Let's say you're going to put some box braids or some crochet braids. Let's say you're going to put crochet braids in your hair. All you're doing, shampooing, rinsing the conditioner out with shampooing, rinsing the shampoo out with hot water. Conditioning your hair, rinsing the conditioner out with cold water to close the cuticle. Spraying some leave-in conditioner in so you can blow dry your hair. Leave-in conditioner is your protection from the blow dryer, from sun, from UV radiation, from environmental pollution. Okay? Blow dry your hair. Your hair is dry. Now braid it. You don't need any additional products to braid your hair. Braid your hair. Put the crochet braids in. And then walk away. That's it. That is it. That is all. There's nothing else. There's nothing more. Nothing more, nothing less. There's no like wash and go. There's no like extra products you need to add. There's nothing extra, y'all. I'm not keeping anything from you. So you said you generally spray your hair with water. Sometimes you mix the water with conditioner. Why would you do that? Why would you, what are you accomplishing? All you're doing by doing that is keeping your hair wet. You're keeping your follicle open and swollen. Conditioner is wax and oil and water. So, like, what are you accomplishing by doing that? It's simplistic. All you have to do is wash your hair, condition it, rinse it out, put leave-in conditioner in it, dry your hair, and style it. That is it. That is all. Nothing else. Like, and once your hair is styled and the bond is set, you don't have to touch it again to the next wash day. Why are you spraying your hair every day with water? If you're spraying your hair every day, that means it's not in the style. That means you just wet your hair and you just walking around with a water bottle. Okay, y'all. I think I'm at my limit. I have also tried butterfly. You said, oh, and I really love the taste. I'm gonna make sure to drink it every day. Thank you. The reason that you have knots is because you keep wetting your hair. Breaking your hydrogen bond is not going to bring your ends back together. It's not. It's not going to, like that. Your hair is broken because of you. I'm not being disrespectful. Your hair is broken because of you. What are you doing? You have split ends. Cut your split ends and get a set regimen to style your hair with, and you'll be fine. Your hair is broken off because it has no direction. Your hair is broken off because it has no leader. There's no leader. You've given your hair no direction. It has no leader. You have 100,000 to 400,000 strands of hair in your head with no leader, no direction. You give your hair no direction. It has no health. It has no path. Your body is a city and it has one governor, which is you. There's one president. That's you. But the president, the governor gives no direction. The queen gives no direction. So everybody in the palace runs amok. That's what's wrong with your hair. You don't do anything to it. You don't give it any direction. There's no style. You're just walking around with a water bottle with water and conditioner in it. All you're doing is making your hair weaker. What does the conditioner doesn't do anything but break your bonds. That's all it does. And then it puts a weight on your hair. That's all you're doing. All you're doing is breaking the bonds and making your hair heavier. That's why you have single strand knots. Single strand knots are split ends, my love. You have split ends. And you have even more split ends because you keep breaking your hair even more. There is nothing within a water bottle full of conditioner or oil that is going to bring your hair back to health. Nothing. It will do nothing for you. It's a fact. It will do nothing but make it worse. And there's proof of that because nothing. It don't matter how many times you spray it with a water bottle, it's not better. You got to book a one-on-one, babe. I can't no more. I'm sorry. I love you. You're going to have to book a one-on-one. I love you more. Yeah, you're going to have to book a one-on-one. I love you trying to be rude, sis, but you making my pressure go up, dog. I love you, sis. You older than me, but you making my pressure go up. Because you old enough to be my mama. And I love you, but don't get mad at me when I say this. The reason that my generation can't get shit figured out is because your generation is the one that's teaching us the bullshit. Don't get mad at me when I say this. My generation keep greasing their scalp. My generation keep greasing their scalp because the generation before them and the generation before that told them to. And don't nobody have no new solutions. And now y'all done went from greasing y'all scalp to putting conditioner and water and oil in a bottle and spraying your hair for no reason. It's like Pinky all over again. Pinky with the wet hair. Come on, y'all. Y'all raising my pressure. Y'all are raising my pressure. That's why people be like, oh, when you go see dermatologists, they be rude because they sick of y'all. They sick of y'all. Just imagine how you would feel if you went to medical school and you've been in school for 20 something years and you gotta argue and then if he was in medical school for 20, 15, 16, however long, about 20 years he been in school. And you arguing with him about if whether or not the scalp need oil. You don't get it because you ain't black. That's why they rude. They sick of y'all. They're sick of you, but they can't say it. So I'm going to say it for them. These dermatologists are sick of y'all. They are sick of having the same stupid ass conversations over and over again. And then you want them to prove to you, who knows nothing, who don't even know that black women have oil in their scalp. You want him to sit there and explain everything that he spent the last 20 years of his life learning to you. You want him to argue with you about basic science. This is basic. This is basic science, y'all. Basic. That's why dermatologists are rude. They are sick of y'all. They're sick of it. How many times should we wash our hair in a week? It depends on what you're doing to your hair in a week. Thank you so much for the education. I really need it. I think I'm gonna cry. In my defense, we don't have not one black stylist in my city, especially since COVID. I love you, but you don't do you I'm not being disrespectful. I just want you, I'm saying this because the next time it comes up, I want yourself to say this to you so you can't make no more excuses after this. You eat every day, right? Whether restaurants are open or not, you're gonna eat. Whether fast food joints are open or not, you're gonna eat. If every fast food place comes out, closes down, you're still gonna eat. You're gonna make a way. You're gonna figure it out. If every grocery store on this planet closes down, if you got kids, you're gonna make a way. Whether you start growing your own food, you're gonna make a way. Other people not being able to hold up their end of the bargain is no excuse for you not holding up yours. I'm sorry. Just because there are no stylists out, just because there are no people out, that does not mean that you're not responsible for your own hair. It doesn't mean that you're not responsible for learning the science of your body. Forget them. Forget them. As a licensed cosmetologist, as an herbalist, I'm saying up them. It's on you. It ain't no hairstylist's fault that your hair ain't growing. It's yours. You live with you every day. The hairstylist, you only seeing them once every blue moon, but you with you everywhere you go. It's on you to learn the science of the human body. Nobody else. Nobody else. It's on you. Everybody who has changes from my tactics, it ain't about my tactics. I'm not like, do this, poop 4 times. No, my tactics are learn and follow the science of the human body. Those are my tactics. That's it. And my tactics ain't my tactics. My tactics is study God. You're made, study God. You are the freaking universe. Like, you can find the way that your nerve endings looks is the same way that pieces of the galaxy look. What you mean? You are literally a piece of the universe experiencing itself, whether you want to believe it or not. God is God, regardless of what your religion is. You cannot get wet by the word water, period. You wet regardless of what you call it. Water, agua, it don't matter. You're still going to be wet. You have to learn and master your body. Nothing else. Nothing else. Nothing more. Let's ask question live. I really love your energy and how real you are. I love you so much. And I love you too. Beautiful. I really do. You like make my day. When I see messages from you, I'm like, oh, it's Empress. That's what I say. I'm like, oh, hey, Empress, boo. That's what I be saying. Right before I write you back, anytime you comment, I love you. And your comments are always so thoughtful. You don't be asking me stupid stuff. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm sorry, I'm not the mammal. I'm tough, yes, but I'm trying to change it. I promise. I appreciate you. No, I do. And like I said, I'm just an intense person. Like, I'm not tripping. Breaking generational curses. Please, can you please listen? Everybody makes mistakes. I used to grease my scalp too before I knew better. I used to grease it all the time before I knew better. What you mean? I used to do it too, but when you know better, you have to learn as much detail about what you now know and then spread it. Don't keep spreading bullshit that ain't working. Don't keep spreading the same stuff. The only way we can break generational curses is if we learn the patterns and then replace them with new ones. But if you just replacing dumb patterns with even stupider patterns, it don't. Our ancestors didn't know. They didn't have access to the information that we have now. All of the sacrifices that they made was so that you can get the knowledge to learn more so that the next generation will be better. How are you going to make the next generation better? How are we going to be better for my daughter's generation and for my son's generation when we doing the same stupid stuff to them that hasn't worked? How are they going to be better when we're making them the carbon copy of us? If you don't take the time to learn more information, to apply more information, then you're going to pass on the same BS to the next generation. And guess what? They'll have even more access to more information and they'll be figuring it out before you. And then they're going to be like, Mom, you know you're not supposed to do that. Do you know how many clients I have that tell me that their 10, 11-year-old daughters be telling them, you're not supposed to grease your scalp. Your follicles produce oil. You know why? Because we learned that in science class. But y'all forgot. That's how basic that science is. That's why your dermatologist is irritated with you. When you want to argue with him or her about the fact that Black women don't produce oil, that's why they irritated with you, because they know you don't know nothing now because you didn't pay attention to nothing in school, because we learned that in like basic science class. You learning that whatever grade you in when you like 10. My daughter has it in her science book, the sebaceous gland. It's in my daughter's science book. My daughter's 11. Yeah. Love y'all, but so I'm about to answer y'all questions, but I'm about to eat while I do it. So judge your mama, not me. I'm gonna try not to crunch. It's a bunch of vegetables. Hey, boo. Y'all are so freaking beautiful. Like, what is happening? All of you, oh my God, just like, what is this? Is this where all the beautiful girls come to play? Oh my goodness, y'all making me have to do my hair. I gotta hurry up and end this shit so I can do my hair. Y'all make me look bad. I thought y'all was gonna be on here dusty like me. I hope y'all looking dusty at home like me, y'all, and y'all just cute on y'all picture. Okay, hi sis, since completing the 7-day challenge, detangling my hair with oil and during my wash day was a breeze. It had never been that easy in the 10 years I've been natural. Thank you. It is my absolute pleasure. My goal is not to go back and forth. My goal is to not make anybody feel stupid. That's not true. I am trying to make you feel stupid. I want to make you feel stupid about all of the multiple things that you've been doing all of these years, because the most simplistic routine will bring you the healthiest hair you have ever had in your life. I can guarantee you that all of the things that you're doing to get healthy hair is what's preventing you from getting healthy hair. There's beauty here. Join the 7-day challenge. If you are a person who needs help getting the routine and you're stuck in the rut, 7-day challenge. As you can see, out of her mouth, since completing the 7-day challenge, detangling my hair with oil and during wash day was a breeze. It had never been this easy in the 10 years since being natural. The only issue she's still dealing with is shedding. I've increased my iron on my diet, but this is the thing. Shedding is always going to happen. It's always going to happen. You're supposed to lose 50 to 100 strands every single day. You're going to see shedding. It's not going to stop. It's never going to stop. Shedding will never stop. But YouTubers have you believing that shedding is bad. For example, one thing, okay, you know Tia and Tamara? I don't know which one it is. Whichever one has a YouTube channel. Whichever one has a YouTube channel. Well, both of them have a YouTube channel. Damn it. The one who just got a divorce. So the one with a product line, whichever one that is. I think Tia. Anyway. Tia had her brothers on her show, on her cooking show with her, on her channel. And one of her brothers, they asked one of the questions that they asked, one of them asked her, I mean, she asked one of them was like, what was like something about their childhood that they remember with the twins, with the girls. And the first thing they said was hair. There was hair everywhere. Because women who have long, healthy hair have a healthy, regular hair growth cycle where they shed hair on a regular basis. It's normal. Your hair is supposed to shed. If it wasn't shedding before, it's because your hair growth cycle was off. Hair is supposed to shed. 50 to 150 strands a day is a lot of hair. What do you think that's going to look like in your brush? You're going to see shedding. There will never be a time, if you have a lot of hair and healthy hair, there will never be a time where you will not have shedding. There's nothing you can do to stop it. Nothing. You're supposed to shed. I'm learning on this spiritual journey. I am on Queen Bee here if I didn't care. You're not asking stupid stuff. I'm not irritated. When I'm irritated, I stop talking. I'm not irritated. I say what I mean and I mean what I say. If you getting on my nerves, I'm gonna be like, girl, you're getting on my damn nerves. Some of the stuff was a little, but you're fine. But my problem, not my problem with you, but I don't stop looking for shortcuts. There are no shortcuts. It's simple. It's too simplistic to have a shortcut. Shampoo, condition, use leave-in conditioner, blow dry, style your hair. And the last product that you use is going to be dependent on what style you pick. It's so simplistic. And it's so simplistic that you feel like you got to make up stuff. No. Every person in my 7-day challenge that gets results get results because they kill all of the habits. When you join my 7-day challenge, one of the first things I'm going to tell you is if you are coming over here with any team natural hacks, this will not work. Don't come over to the 7-day challenge like, I put my hair in 2-4 braids every day. If you want to be lazy, it ain't going to work. If you don't want to join, if you don't have accountability, and if you don't want to do the work, and if you want short fixes, if you want something easy to do where all you got to do is put a braid over here and a braid over here and walk away, the 7-day challenge ain't for you. 7-day challenge is for people who really want to change their hair life, who really want to have accountability. That's who it's for. It's not just for anybody. I'll leave a link. It's on my website. I'll leave a link to it on my website. I mean, when we get off of here. Okay, that's a release. Thank you. Wasn't sure if it was normal amount of shedding. Yeah. Now, it's team natural brain. You been conditioned, uncondition yourself. You gotta undo it. And baby, you are OG. I gotta make sure go in the group for me, babe, and be like, hey girl, it's me. So I want to put like a VIP star next to your name. So that way when new people come in the challenge, you can like answer their questions and help them through. It's nothing wrong with that. You're gonna make mistakes. That's what you're here for. Like, you have to ask questions. The problem is when you make mistakes and you don't learn from them, you just keep piling on top of the mistakes. That's when it's not, but you're fine. You're fine. There's nothing wrong with your hair. Shedding is normal. There's nothing wrong with your hair. Why would you not lose hair every day? Lose all the skin on your scalp falls off every 28 days. Why would you not lose hair? Don't worry, babe. Had tried everything they said, and my hair would be long, but every time I went to the salon to get it pressed, I had so many split ends because length does not equal health. Everybody's hair grows. Everybody's hair grows. Everybody. But can you maintain and retain the length? And is the length healthy? That's the question. My good eyes hop on. And I'm gonna say this to Ian. Every woman who's done multiple big chops, think about it. If you've done multiple big chops and every time you cut your hair was like 10 inches long, let's say it was just 10 inches long, you could have 30-inch hair right now. What are we talking about? Your hair could be over 20 inches long. That hair would have still been growing. And if you would have had a certain pattern, instead of cutting it, you would have been able to retain those 10 inches that you cut those 3 times. You would have had them. That's the difference. All right. I love y'all so much. I'm going to share my screen with you really quick so you can see how to join the 7-day challenge. Hold on. So when we get off of here, like I said, I'm showing you how to join the 7-day challenge and giving you guys the link to the group. So when we get out of here, go join the group and head over to my website. Just check a couple things out. I forgot about it. Just look at stuff. And like I said, I will be releasing about 4 new herbal blends over the next couple of days. And the only way that you're going to see them before you see them here on YouTube is if you join my group that I'm going to show in a minute. Well, I just showed it to you. I showed you the group earlier, so I'll put the link in the description box below. But head over to my website, and then we went home here. But then to get to the 7-day challenge, you can just click here and then scroll down the 7-day challenge, or you can go to courses and programs, sign up. And when you head over to courses and programs, you can click on it right here and it'll tell you, not only does it tell you, I mean, you can sign here, but when you look under, you can see how many people are active within the challenge as you are in it. So this number right here, 245 people, those are not only the people who have taken the challenge, but these are the people who are currently active, right? These are the people that are currently active. So you have 245 people active within the challenge that you can talk to while you're going through it. And this one, you have 7 active participants. And in this one, we have 11 participants. And this one, we have 125 active participants. And this one is free. Okay. So I love you guys so very, very much. This is how you join the 7-day challenge here. If you want to join the group, you just head right over here, right, where it says more. And then you scroll down to where it says groups. And again, these are for the people who are in the active challenges. The only group, you see how it says private, private, private. All of the private groups you have to pay for to gain access to. But the public group, you can just click right on and come right inside of the group. All of the questions, like for example, if you asked a question that I didn't get to today, or if you had asked a question that I didn't get in enough detail, you want more detail, ask your question here. Within this group here is the group that is basically determining what our next couple of videos are going to be here on YouTube. So the next couple of videos that you're going to get here on my channel are coming directly from requests made from that group. So if I didn't answer a question today and you want to get a specific answer, go over there. If it's pertaining to like, oh, what is a healthy new routine I can do? How do I fix my scalp? Things like that, all within the 7-day challenge. All right. 7-day challenge is where you will go to get all of that. So it's okay. You said the screen's blurry, so I'll leave the links to everything in the description box. So just head over there and do that. But more than anything, of course, like it'll be cool if you join the 7-day challenge too, boo. But more than anything, I really, really want y'all to join this free group because it helps in so many different ways. It's going to help me build better content here. Making content is like specifically for what you want. It'll help me with my apothecary to know like what y'all needing, if y'all want any herbs that I haven't added, and you guys will get first dibs on all of my herbs. That's why my blue tea is continuously sold out, because before I tell anybody about it on social media, I release it in this group first, and then they buy like 4-5 bags of everything, and then people on YouTube get whatever they leave. So if you want to get ahead, let's do that. All right. I love y'all so much. And until next time, bye bye. Check the links in the description box and keep it simple, pimping. Keep it simple, pimping, like for real.